Only 3 games remain before the Olympic break, and fortunately for the Blues, they're all at home. The challenge will be staying focused on the task at hand, which tonight is the Ottawa Senators, who defeated the Blues in overtime in their previous meeting. Can the Blues repay the sins here tonight? Find out next. It's the Blues and Ottawa Senators at Scottrade on a snowy night in St. Louis. Our Dobbs starting goaltender, Jaroslav Halak. Lifetime against Ottawa, 3-5-1. He'll be opposed by Robin Lehner. The Swede beat the Blues in Ottawa in mid-December. Reeves and Smith having words, and Smith is the one that hit Steen back in Ottawa. Blues hockey brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. For the Blues, it is Reeves, Lapierre, and Morrow against Smith, Greening, and Chris Neal. A lot of toughness, to say the least. Mike Hassenfratz and Mark Jeanette, the referees. As Lapierre and Smith get set to take the opening face-off. And here we go. And the Blues win the draw. Polak dumps it in. Number 62, Eric Gryba back to get it. He is hit by Lapierre. It goes all the way down the ice. And played by Halak. Now for Leopold. And now dumped ahead by Lapierre. Leonard out to play it. That comes around. And a hit by Reeves on Greening. And now it's grabbed by Mark Methot. And he tries to get away from the forecheck. He does. Reeves went for the big hit.
Yeah, Reeves is looking for a piece of Methot. And the Ottawa Senators have 4 very, very big defensemen. But this is no surprise whatsoever. And that's why in our open and in the pregame show, we talked about it. Yes, these two teams don't play each other a lot, but that game on December 16th in Ottawa had a lot of edge to it. Ottawa plays that kind of, they're a heavy-hitting team. There's no doubt about it. But there wasn't one guy on the Blues that liked that hit by Zach Smith in that hockey game. As the former Blue, Paul McLean looks on. But that just adds to the intrigue and the intensity of this game. Looks like Ryan Reeves is going to go off.
Smith's going too, Panger.
And Zach Smith as well. So.
And for the record, gentlemen, as you know, the visiting coach sets the lineup first. So Paul McLean sent out those players to start the game, and then Hitchcock had his option of the players that he would match up with.
Well,
the Smith line.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, Zach Smith's line with Colin Greening, that is a checking line for them as well. And in the game in Ottawa, Paul McLean had Zach Smith going up against David Backes. So he, as a coach, Paul McLean's thinking, I'm going to put on Zach Smith because they're probably going to put out David Backes. And instead, Ken Hitchcock puts out the 4th line, tries to stir things up. Nothing wrong with that.
And we go 4-on-4. As Bouwmeester gets it for the Blues for Steen. Steen is up front with Backes. Bouwmeester and Pietrangelo back on defense. As Reeves and Smith get unsportsmanlike conduct minors. And now it's Pietrangelo back in his own line. Trying to skate away from Kyle Turris, the former Coyote, who's out with Jason Spezza. No room at center ice, so Bouwmeester dumps it in. And Robin Lehner plays it up the far side and now moved along by Carlson. Into the zone for McCulloch. Drop pass and a shot wide by Carlson, who leads all defensemen scoring with 51 points. And now Backes back to Shattenkirk. And then Shattenkirk gets it back from Pietrangelo. With a minute to go in the 4-on-4. Shattenkirk has some ice into the Ottawa zone. Working on Gryba. And now Methot reverses it for Gryba. And the Senators to center ice. And Stefan DaCosta, who had their only goal last night, tipped on goal. And a save by Halak on DaCosta, who scored last night in that 2-1 overtime loss in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he scored a beautiful goal going high over the blocker, short side under the bar on Marc-Andre Fleury. Here he takes a nice little pass from defenseman Mark Methot. And here's the penalty beforehand from our Plaza Tire Service replay, focusing on Ryan Reeves. His conversation again. The puck drop started with Ryan Reeves right into the ear of Zach Smith, letting him know that if it's not now, I'm sure he said if it's not now, it's going to happen. And it will as this game progresses, I'm sure.
Now Leopold up the ice for Schwartz. And Jaden Schwartz, who scored in the last game, to the wing, a drive on goal by Pollock, and a save by Leonard. And Pollock one-hands it, and it stays in the zone. Not dressed tonight for the Blues, Carlo Koliakovo. Dmitry Yashkin, who's been recalled from Chicago. And a shot on goal. Ian Cole, the other healthy scratch, as Halak eats this one up. And we get a whistle.
That's another good save there. That was on Zibanejad right there on the far side. Our Toyota keys to the game. Stay out of the box. The power play on the road is #1 from the Ottawa Senators, and prepare for a whole lot of shots against. We've seen that early on already. They funnel a lot of pucks towards the net. They have the 4th most in terms of average shots per game in the entire NHL.
Yeah, they get a lot of shots and they give up a lot of shots. 10 times this year they've allowed 40 or more shots.
And in the last 10 games on the power play on the road, they're at 31%. That's why I say you got to stay away from the box. If there was a third key, fellas, drive carefully. With the hazardous conditions outside.
That's for you fans watching at home tonight. They allowed 48 shots last night in Pittsburgh, and Craig Anderson was brilliant in goal. Now David Backes. Slowed up by Greiba, and then a hit by Backes. Teams are back at full strength. And now the puck to center ice, taken by Schwartz. And he's got some time. Back for Jackman.
That's a smart regroup right there.
And now Stewart, who scored a pair against Ottawa in that 3-2 overtime loss. Here is Mathot. Long feed to center, tipped down the ice by Clark MacArthur, and that goes all the way down for icing.
Well, you know it's going to be one of those physical games, and everybody wants to get involved in this game and make sure they don't skate away from anything. And there, David Backes takes a little nudge over there at Kyle Tursley going for the change. Our Plaza Tire Service replay, this one's on Greiba. And the big defenseman, as we mentioned before, they have some big suckers on the blue line. We know that they've got one of the most talented offensive players, if not the most talented, in Carlson, but they've got some big boys as well.
And we saw Backes give Turris a shot on the way to the bench. Bernie, is there a lot of chirping going on between the benches?
Yeah, more than I've seen, John, in a long time. So both teams are very chit-chatty, if you want to call it, but it's pretty ugly.
And a shot from the far side there by MacArthur, and a save by Halak. Early on the shot to 3-1 Ottawa. And now Pietrangelo to center ice. Bodeester hits Schwartz on his off wing. He works in a shot, and a rocket was wide, and that hit the glass. And then Schwartz down low missed it, and it's grabbed by Carlson. And he gets it off the glass, and this will come to center. Reeves on the ice, can't get there. And now Bobby Ryan, the longtime Duck, and he can't get in. The Senators making a change and almost too many men there. There's Cody Ceci, the rookie, jumped on for Carlson. And this goes all the way down for icing.
Well, one thing's for sure, with the tone of this game early, Ryan Reeves, Max Lapierre, and Brendan Morrow have been on the ice more than they have to begin games. So you've got to be prepared, ready to go, get those matchups, and get on your toes. Yesterday at practice, Brendan Morrow was actually on another line with Patrick Berglund.
And now a pass hit a skate. Here's Pollock. Well, Hitch told us in our pregame meeting they might switch Payarvi and Morrow at times tonight, depending on how it goes, as this is an offside. And of course you have Lapierre, who is a known agitator, more with the mouth, but Hitchcock says he really likes the way he plays. Lapierre said the other day, Panger, he could not speak one word of English until he was 20 years old. He's learned quickly. It was all French until he was 20. Not one word.
Parlez-vous français?
Oui, oui. Mon ami. And now Lapierre takes the face-off. Here's Jackman for Shattenkirk. And then back to Lapierre. He's got some room into the zone. Lapierre winds up a drive, and he put that one high. And off the glass back to center ice.
How far that missed by?
Not much. As DaCosta fires into the corner.
It's a high howitzer, huh?
It was a rocket. And now Shattenkirk up the boards. Tipped away by Reeves. And the Senators regrouping with number 46, Patrick Wierkosh. And here's Wierkosh up the middle. And that floats in on goal. Blocker to the corner by Halak. Then taken by Shattenkirk. And his backhand feed goes down the ice. And they're going to rule that Oshie got there ahead of Mathai. So no icing. And now Berglund trying to duck under a check. Berglund, Payarby, and Oshie here for the Blues. Now back for Leopold, a shot. That was tipped well wide. Comes to the near wing for Colin Greening. He can't clear it. And now Oshie, he jumps by the thought tip. Puck in front. And that's cleaned up by Smith. And now Greening away for the Senators. And that's steered to the corner by Halak. First deal there. Jams it back with a goal to Greening. And then he is worked over and knocked off the puck by Berglund. And then Berglund bumps Smith. And then moved along to Roman Polak.
I think the exits out of the zone for the Blues have been very good, very fluid. They worked hard on 5-on-5 yesterday in practice. It was a real good, solid practice. That's a big hit there.
And David Backes goes down, and he looks back. It called it their most competitive practice in a month.
You know what? That stick that broke there by Cowan, the end of the stick hit the face of Pietrangelo, and it might have cut him.
And now Backes goes after MacArthur. And then Turris comes in, and now Backes throws the mitts down, and he wants Turris.
Well, this is a result of Backes getting hit, though, in the corner in the Senators' zone. It was actually Carlson and Chris Neal that I think that have agitated the captain, and more on the Neal side of it. But remember, Backes and Turris, when they went for that line change, bumped as well.
And the tone has been set on a snowy night in St. Louis.
David Backes now tied with Joey Mullen. He's at 151 goals. When you look at his career, this is the hit that he didn't like. And it wasn't Carlson. This was Neal. And Neal just drills the captain. See the puck? It's in the skates. It's not on the stick. Everybody's looking for the puck, and there's no way Backes expected that hit. This snap stick by Jared Cowan, the end of it went right into the neck, the side of the head of Alex Pietrangelo. So the broken twig right in there. So you know what that's like with those fiberglass slivers and the carbon graphite Kevlar composite materials, Bernie?
Yes, it's not pretty.
No.
And as you can see, he's wincing there too. So that's never a good look when you see that.
So it looks like he's going to go in there and get a couple of sutures in there to tighten that up. But now we'll get back at it again. David Backes, center in this line, of course. Steen on the left, and Chris Stewart stays on the right side. He's been there for a couple of games now.
As he looks to snap an 11-game goalless drought.
And Steen, because he's a left-hander, he takes the faceoffs on that side of the ice to pull it towards the boards.
And Steen wins it from Spezza, who took over the captaincy from Daniel Alfredson, who is now in Detroit. Now Steen back for Shattenkirk to Bolmeister. For the time being, the Blues are down to 5 defensemen. Backes wheels into the zone for Stewart. Winds up and a blocker save by Leonard. Then it comes out high and kept in by Bolmeister. And now grabbed by Steen. And Steen twists one to the end board. And around to Backes now for Stewart. And Stewart to the point. Shattenkirk winds up a shot. And that missed by a couple of feet. And then kept in by Bolmeister. And then pounded down low. Here is Steen winning a puck battle. Back to Bolmeister, wrist shot. And again a blocker saved by Leonard, who was pulled in his last start. Now Roy in front. Great pass. Shattenkirk a shot. And that goes wide. Trying to catch Leonard off guard. And now it's Schwartz. It didn't pass across. That was tipped away by Spezza. And Shattenkirk had to hurry. And then Roy filters it back in. And Colin Greening back to get it.
That's Derek Roy at his best, isn't it? To be able to feather that pass the way he did. Found a man right through between the skate and the heel of the stick, right on the numbers.
And now Jaden Schwartz takes the hit from Neal. Tarasenko after it against Jared Cowan. And now Tarasenko coming off a 2-point night. And a shootout winner. Tarasenko after it on the wall. And a spin away from Smith. And the Senators get it, and here comes first Neal at the line, turned over. Tarasenko walks it back in, and he waits. Then a shot, and a save by Leonard, and then loose in the corner, Schwartz fires it out high. Polak, wrist shot, that got way too high, and then kept in by Jack, but not for long. And shot down the ice by Greening, but not far enough for icing. And both clubs made changes. 8:30 into the first period. Shots are now 4-4.
The Blues have had a couple of good scoring chances. Trying to go high on a big goaltender. They might want to change that around and get him down off the pads and at least get a couple of chances with a pass off the pad.
Now he's 6'5", 225 is Robin Leonard. And now it is Berglund. Hiroshi, quick shot, and that was off a body into the netting. And a stoppage.
Well, now that everything's settled down, it's offensive zone pressure for the Blues that are playing against a team that played last night in their overtime loss in Pittsburgh. A hard game there. So that was the first shot. Here's another one here. Shattenkirk just missing, actually. And this is Stewart on a 3-on-2 with center lane drive. Might have got away from him there. You had Alexander Steen driving hard on the left side. Added in our Plaza Tire Service replay. So 3 or 4 good chances with some sustained pressure in the offensive zone.
Yeah, shots off the blocker aren't going to cut it, though, Painter.
No.
You said get it off that pad, or else you're going to get it over the glove.
And now Turris a shot, and that's handled by Halak against his right shoulder. And no rebound on a tricky shot by Kyle Turris, who leads the Senators in plus-minus at +18.
Yeah, he was good last night. He saw a lot of Sidney Crosby. Ottawa really checked Crosby and Malkin well last night. 18 goals, a +17. This is off the draw. He dumps TJ Oshie. That's University of Wisconsin versus North Dakota. That's a battle in itself right there.
And they got Turris from Phoenix for David Rundblad and a second-rounder. Of course, Rundblad, a former Blues draft choice, and a shot by MacArthur. And that hit Halak up high. And then a shot by Turris, blocked. Backus can't find it. Now he does. Hands it right to Ryan. And he spins it back to the Blues goal, where it's grabbed by Polak. And now Backus ahead for Stewart. And then Bollister joins the party. Back to Steen, a shot. Another shot by Steen, and that was blocked at the defense by the rookie Ceci. And now MacArthur away for Ottawa. Here he comes.
I think even Ottawa thought that was offside. They kind of held up.
And MacArthur gives it to Kevin Shattenkirk. And he gains the red line, and in deep it goes. Cowan spins off the hit by Morrow. And it's taken by Greening, now to center ice to Carlson. And he winds up by a stick save by Halak. Big rebound off Greening, and now pushed along by Morrow. And the thought backpedaling at his own line for Carlson. And that is flown into the Blue zone. Knocked out of midair by Shattenkirk, but his stick was too high. And we'll get a stoppage. 9:41 to go, first period. In a hard-hitting game, there's no score.
Well, in that last meeting, we're talking about December 16th in Ottawa. It was a physical game. And I'm not sure if we were expecting it right off the hop. At that point, the Ottawa Senators trying to find their identity. Remember, just still going through the loss of Alfredson, changing their captaincy, leadership group. But one guy on the right, Chris Neal, and certainly Ryan Michael Reeves on the left. Two willing combatants.
Shots are 7-4 for Ottawa, no score. As Smith gets set on the faceoff against Lapierre. Lapierre wins it for Polak, who steps by Zibanejad. And the puck at the line, but kept in by McCulloch. Now McCulloch again, the longtime Shark. Off a stick, grabbed by Oshie. And ahead to Berglund. And that rolling puck taken by Cowan around on the boards. Magnus Payarvi is there, and he's bumped by Cowan. And the Senators try a long pass out of the reach of Carlson, taken by Polak, and then tipped in deep by Oshie. And Jared Cowan, their first-round pick in 09. Oshie in there on the forecheck. Can't get it. And then it's grabbed again by Zibanejad. He drops it to Spets, a nice move up the slot, right in front. Halak got over and made a very good save on McCulloch.
Ottawa's had some pretty good scoring chances here early.
Yes, they have. Halak has been very sharp. Now Spets a centering pass, and that's blocked by Berglund. And here the Blues, 3-on-2. Oshie walks it in for Berglund. Far side of shot. Oh, that's wide. Oh, Shattenkirk got a wide open net. And he missed everything. And now McCulloch up the boards. But then grabbed by the Ottawa native Derek Roy. He was checked. And picked up by Eric Greiba. That's flown ahead by Mathot. Well, that's just the typical Ottawa sequence there, Darren. They have a great chance, and then they give up a 4-on-2 at the other end. And now Schwartz with it. To the line. That's blocked. And it comes to center, and then dumped back in by Bouwmeester. Here's Gryba now on for MacArthur. He was signed as a free agent. Burris trying to run it down. That's chopped ahead by Bouwmeester. And now moved to center ice by Schwartz. And he overskates it, but now gets it again. Beats David Backes. The captain in front, and a shot by Leopold right on. And a pad save by Leonard.
Good job by Leopold to slide down there a little bit lower. Don't hang up that high. There's no avenue to get the puck. But Leopold, a savvy veteran, moved in there, got a pretty good shot on the short side.
7:20 left in this scoreless first period. Leopold back on the goal. He is bumped by Corey Conacher. Puck in front. DeCosta's wide open. And a swap shot blocked out high by Backes.
Leopold was expecting Halak to play that.
And now the Blues break it up, and Alexander Steen. Oh, he makes a pass to the middle. No one is there. And DeCosta with it. Big windup. Now dropped it to Cowan. A shot. And that's just wide. And now Carlson. Wrist shot. Looking for a tip. And it ends up in the netting. And a stoppage.
Good chances, certainly by the Ottawa Senators, and they will come at you in an old-fashioned rush formation. But here's the play here, down below, and we stop it right here, and you can see how low they are, and that the men by the Blues are in real good shape here. Obviously down low, good coverage down low, and it's a blind dump by Spezza that results in what ends up could be a 4-on-2 the other way. And a really good shot because Shattenkirk jumps in there. Good dot-to-dot pass. The goalie challenges. He gets outside the blue paint and the white, so you can make those passes dot-to-dot, and you might be able to get them. They nearly got him there. It was a good play.
Anywhere on the net, and that's in the net. Fanger, he just missed it.
It did miss. Okay,
yeah, he just missed the net.
It's hard to tell. Okay.
Yeah, he missed the net. I mean, anywhere on the net, it's in.
Scoring chances so far are 3-3. Well, Zach Smith, he is hit hard by Morrow. Played ahead to Neal. And then it is Reeves on the forecheck. He breaks it up. And then Lapierre back of the goal on Gryba. Greening spins it back the other way for Gryba. And now to Greening. And he is run to the ditch by Reeves. Lapierre right back in there. And a soft shot handled by the stick of Leonard. And now Shattenkirk down low on Gryba. And then Morrow comes in to help, but Greening gets away. Blocked at center by Berglund. Here he comes, drops it off. Oshie in front of Berglund. They score! Brendan Morrow with a beauty! And it's 1-0 for the Blues.
Well executed play. Turnover, great play by the big Swede. Patrick Berglund gained some speed. A turnover right there. Berglund came off the bench on a change. Little drop pass there to Oshie. Oshie feathers it. Slow, slithery, little buttery play over there. And bang, right on the tape. Brendan Morrow's got his stick on the ice. He usually does. And he goes to the post and gets rewarded.
That is some great passing. Morrow's 9th of the year. The goal at 14:08.
Scored by number 10.
And the Senators, they almost give it up back of the goal. As Leonard got confused back there, and Oshie almost had a wide open net. Berglund and Oshie will get the assist on the goal. Here's Oshie again. Wraparound in front, a shot and a pad save by Leonard. And a heck of a shift there by Oshie. So Morrow from Berglund and Oshie at 14:08. And now Cowan fires it back of the goal. Pass to the line to Carlson, a drive and a left pad save by Halak. And then it goes to Ryan. At the line, Wierkosh. And that shot was tipped wide in front of MacArthur. Drive blocked by Bouwmeester, and then it's scooped up by Halak. But another decent chance there. The Blues are on the board. Morrow's 9th of the year.
Well, the Ottawa Senators think that they got the entire left side of the ice open, but look who's coming off the bench here on a good line change. with speed, cutting the ice in half here. Ottawa's got their head down. They're looking at the puck. Berglund's put himself in a good spot, reads it, and then it goes the other way. Now, Berglund's backhand pass nifty. Oshie gives it back to him, and then off the backhand of the blade of Berglund, and that's how it gets right over there to the wide-open Brendan Morrow as Alex Pietrangelo went off for repairs, and he is back on the bench.
Shots are 10-8 Ottawa, but the Blues lead by 1. And they win a face-off, dumped in by Steen. He goes after it along with Stewart. In against the rookie Cody Ceci. And now Steen gets it. Down low for Stewart. And trying to center one. That was blocked by Spezza. And this is number 9, Milan McCulloch. And he was knocked down. The play is now offside. And we get a whistle.
Good step up by Kevin Shattenkirk. And he's on his toes here. Basically knowing McCulloch is crossing the blue line with his head down, and McCulloch's going into a 1-on-3. That's a good step up there. He's got support with David Backes. If he might miss him, then he's got that support on both sides of it, and that's where you take away the lines. That's good hard defense right there. Don't allow the opposition to easily slide into your zone.
And he just missed him, Banger.
He
just
did,
by
didn't he?
that much. Yes. He got a piece of him, but boy, I tell you what, he could have really got him. I think the Hawks saw him at the last minute.
And we don't see that kind of physical play from Shattenkirk a lot. He used his stick, he angles really well, but there he had an opening. It was a good choice.
Blues it out, hit the Sens 9-2 so far. Here's Schwartz a shot, and that's off Cowan's stick. And now moved along to number 22, Eric Condra. Here's Condra pass on the wing toward DaCosta. Puck comes in front near the line. And then Cowan funnels one back of the goal. Eric Roy up the boards. And Condra near the line again. And a turning Pietrangelo gets it out. But on the stick of DaCosta. And he throws it right back in there. And then Bouwmeester worked over by Conacher. Senators get the puck. Centering feed in a shot just wide by Neal. And now Mathot a drive, and that got through in a save by Halak. And here's Derek Roy, who always plays well against his hometown team. 39 points in 46 games against Ottawa for Derek Roy. And then Greening bumped by Morrow. Here's Reeves back on Smith, and it goes loose back of the goal, taken by Bouwmeester. And that pass to center ice. And now Morrow ducks under a check. Into open ice, picked up by Mark Mathot, the former Blue Jacket defenseman. Now Mathot with it. Back of the goal. Smith trying to get it away from Leopold, but then he had his pocket picked by Morrow. Trying to spring Reeves on a long feed. That's off the mark and down the ice for icing.
Zach Smith just came off the bench on a line change, and Ryan Reeves was right there. And you can see right in the middle of the ice there. And there's Ryan Reeves taking him down. Mark Mathot, the former Blue Jacket, gets this one through. Good save by Yaroslav Halak. He's not too deep in his net. He's got real good position with traffic in front.
And the Blues control the faceoff. Here is Roman Polak to center ice. Under 3 to play, first period. The Blues against the East this year, 17-4-1 and 9-0 here at Scottrade. Now Payarvi for Oshie. And he is knocked off the puck by a stiff arm from Jared Cowan. And now tipped by Berglund. And then backhanded in deep by Payarvi. Cowan up the near side. Shattenkirk trying to pinch, long pass for Ryan. One-on-one on Jackman. And then Ryan with a move and a pass in front in the area of Turris, but he was covered. And Oshie will dangle back in his own zone.
And Bobby Ryan always scores the dramatic goals against the Blues, doesn't he? Going back from his Anaheim days, they're all brilliant. One-on-one, individual, great efforts.
And now Oshie is knocked down by MacArthur. And a penalty has been called.
Marc Dronette and Mike Hasenfrantz are the referees for tonight's game. Oshie just gets it on the toe of his blade. Then he tries to cut back to the middle, and you see the right leg, right skate gets pulled back by MacArthur and tripping up TJ Oshie. First power play of the game. Power play so far, second best in the National Hockey League at 23.8%.
And Otto on the kill, not very good, under 80%, 79.7. That is 24th out of 30 teams. They win the faceoff. Steen, great hold in there on the right point. And now Steen again, but this time it bounces by him. And Smith comes in. Here's Smith a drive, and a good save by Halak with his arm.
That's a good shot by Smith, trying to go to the short side between the blocker and the arm. That's a tough save to make.
And now Backes gets it from Oshie. And now the Blues get set up for the power play. Here's a shot by Backes. Tip, and that goes just wide off Roy. And now a penalty called. I think it's on the Blues.
It's on Derek Roy. His stick just got caught when that puck was in the air. His stick got caught on the defenseman, Mark Mathot. Mathot actually quickly just turned around and looked at the referee, thinking that he might have got the call.
St. Louis, number 12, minor penalty for holding.
Derek Roy, I watched him the entire play. He didn't even know, or it didn't appear as if he knew what even had taken place, because it's in front of the net, and he turns and spins here because the puck just hits him quickly. And the knob of his stick actually just gets caught. So the referee thinks he's holding on to the sweater, but it's the knob of his stick. That's a bad break for Derek Roy right there. It's not an official hold. It's just a
unofficial.
It's a twisted sweater and the knob of the stick trick.
And if Mathot has a tearaway jersey, it's no call. So we go 4-on-4. Tarasenko in. Gets some help there from Schwartz. And that bounces wide of Leonard. And now Pietrangelo down low. Trying to get it from Wierkosh. And now the Senators pop it up wide open. Tarasenko! And he couldn't get it off goal. I believe Spezza blocked that shot at the last second. Under a minute to go in the first period. But Tarasenko was wide open in front there.
Yeah, was he ever.
Speaking of wide open, McCulloch. That's off the goalpost. After Halak got a piece, and McCulloch hit the goalpost.
That's why you challenge the shooter, John. That's exactly why. If you're deep in your net, it hits your glove and goes in the net. He came out, read it perfectly, and then it nibbles off his glove, and it's enough of an angle outside the crease for it to go off the side of the post and wide. So a good play by Spezza. We saw Spezza earlier in the period from behind the net just dump it somewhat carelessly in front with not any one of his players there, and the Blues went the other way. This one here kind of handcuffs Halak, his left elbow on the side of his body, but it hits the post and goes wide with under a minute left to go. And again, if you're deep in your net, that's going to go through you, and that's going to go into the net.
And the Blues control the faceoff. Go 4-on-4 here, now on to Backes. And he's got some speed going wide on Carlson. Ducks the shoulder and a goal! And it's saved by Leonard! Oh, Backes with a power move there. And now Leopold. In front, intended for Steen. And that's broken up. The Senators get MacArthur back, and now they have a power play for 35 seconds. At the end of the period, DaCosta shot glove, so the power play will continue into the second.
Well, the Blues felt that they might have rattled the former Norris Trophy winner a little bit in the game in Ottawa. And here, it's a good challenge play there by Backes. Carlson gave him space and actually reached out and could have got called for a hold as he reached out with a free hand, but the powerful body of Backes gets a good shot.
Blues outshot 13-9, but Pat, they lead it 1-0 after one. It is 1-0 for the Blues after one period of play. The only goal by the wily veteran Brendan Morrow. JK and DP back in the broadcast booth. Is that all right? We call you that?
You got not a problem with me, pal.
All right. What'd you think of Jaro's play in the first period?
I thought JH was good.
Nice. You had to think about that.
I thought Jaro was very sharp. And with all the talk about, what happened in the last game that these two teams met, right off the hop, Ryan Reeves starts things off and tries to get things going with Zach Smith. But, boys, there's some good scoring chances by the Ottawa Senators. And when they get in the offensive zone, they make some very, very good plays, led by their two crafty centermen in Spezza and Turris. But this one on DaCosta was a tough one. Good shot from the high slot by MacArthur that was slightly blocked by Bouwmeester. Another good scoring attempt there. That's that tip in there by DaCosta driving hard to the net. This shot through traffic, off a stick, off the pad, and then out of harm's way. In good position there on MacArthur as well. So 13 shots faced, 13 saves. A little bit of an unheralded solid 20 minutes from Jaroslav Halak.
And there is the goal scorer, his 9th of the year. And the Senators have 31 seconds left in their power play to begin the second period.
Well, the one guy that you have to watch, and you have to box him out as much as possible, is number 65, Erik Karlsson. The slender Olympian from Sweden. He's as crafty as they get with the puck, and this is where he shines on the power play.
Blues hockey is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. Power play to begin things in the second period. And a pass for Zibanejad. And he works it in tight to McCulloch to the line. And that got by Weirkosh in the right point. And that goes all the way down. Now Leonard out to play it. Almost had his pocket picked by David Backes. And now the Senators to center ice. Spezza. And he delays it a little bit. Blues get it back to the goal. Steen around the boards. And now Roy's out of the box. And here the Blues. 3-on-1 into the zone. It's Roy right to the net. In a goal. The backhander. And a save by Leonard on that 3-on-1.
A lot of options there for Derek Roy, but at the very end, you can't squish away an opportunity to get a shot. Anyway, he went forehand, backhand. Senators go the other way. Good save there by Jaroslav Halak, but out of the penalty box, Derek Roy hops out, and it's 4-on-2 going the other way. David Backes was the man driving hard to the Blues paint. So after Steen rifled around the boards, a chip goes into the offensive zone, and he's got a couple of options right there. But by the end, it's just a little forehand backhand and a good save.
I think it was a 4-on-1. Man.
And now a drive by Payarvi. And that is blocked by Gryba. And picked up by Oshie. Little reverse hit there on Turris. And then it comes around to Jackman. Funnels it back of the goal again. Oshie. He fakes to the backhand. Now in front. No one is home for the Blues, but kept in by Payarvi with a good stick.
Yeah, Bobby Ryan was a little careless right there.
And now it comes to Berglund back of the goal. Here's Berglund trying to get away. A little pick there by Oshie. Berglund in a slot. Now for Shattenkirk right in. Too tight. Pass back to Jackman. And then a tip by Shattenkirk. He missed it. And now Berglund gets it again. Good puck possession, but at some point it's got to get to the net. And then a hit by Ryan on Payarvi. And then Berglund there for the Blues. Someone's lost the glove. Tarasenko trying to get it. He lost that mitt. And he gets his glove. And now Turris trying to shake away from Jackman. That's blocked at center ice by Schwartz. And then picked up by Tarasenko. Handed back to Shattenkirk, and now for Jackman. And that pass up the gut now for Schwartz. Smith on the back check to break it up. And then flown off the glass by Cowan. Swept ahead by Pollock. Tarasenko steps by Smith and then moved along by Roy. Now Roy trying to make a play. Can't duck under the check from Cowan. And the Senators the other way to center ice. Then Colin Greening. Drops it off to Smith. Now it goes to Cowan on the point. He waits for Karlsson, a wrist shot, and that flutters wide. Tipped a couple of times, and now Neal a shot. That's blocked, I think, by a Blues player out of play.
Yeah, that faceoff will be inside after that shot by Neal. But you go back to that Derek Roy play out of the penalty box again, and you see this late developing situation where he's looking at Backes. Actually, behind him is Alexander Steen. Bernie, you're right. Steen had slid in there, but I'm sure at that point Roy's thinking, I'm not going to drop it back. Although Karlsson followed him, Steen would have had an empty netter on the stick side. Easy for me to say up here, I'm sure.
Well, everybody just collapsed there. I mean, Derek Roy could have probably kept looking for the pass, but as it turned out, I mean, when everybody backed away, why not take the shot?
And now a foot race here. Reeves gets there ahead of Cowan. And then Reeves giving a ride into the turnbuckle. In front of Bouwmeester, a shot. And a save by Leonard. It's loose. And then the Swedish goaltender mops it up, and now Reeves in front. And he's pushed a bit by Karlsson.
That's not the matchup there. That's for sure. because if you're going to push the big guy Reeves, you're going to get one back at some point. But Reeves does a good job behind the net. He fights off that hit by Jared Callen, and then he slides out. He waits for the defenseman Jay Bouwmeester to slide in there, and Bouwmeester gets a good shot. The puck was loose. You see the goaltender has already gone down. It goes off his belly, but it pops loose. It's not covered right here. And Brendan Morrow, as per normal, right there on the doorstep. And it's still loose at this point, and that's why the Blues were jamming away, which you should. Whistle hadn't gone just yet, so a good shift there by the fourth line, and led primarily by Ryan Reeves.
And Leonard has been real good. We mentioned he was pulled in his last start, January 25th, in Carolina. Allowed 5 goals on 22 shots in a 6-3 loss. There's Craig Anderson, has played the last 4 and was brilliant last night in that 2-1 overtime loss in Pittsburgh. Now the rookie Ceci.
Kyle Turris just got dumped again. Off that faceoff, the Blues would be really aggressive against Turris physically.
And the Blues in that first period won 68% of the draws, and now Steen and Turris in a wrestling match.
Well, Turris just taking exception because the faceoff. Steen is you would call him old-fashioned mean on pucks and mean on bodies, wouldn't you, Bernie? Like he doesn't take no for an answer.
No, that's exactly the way he plays. He's feisty, if you want to use the word. He wants to be involved in everything. He wants to make the difference.
Well, there's been a few people, Bernie, that have asked me why a right hand and why a left hand go on either side, whether it's offensively or defensively. If we can stop it here, this is a left-hand shot in Steen. So as a left-hand shot, that's his strong side to play it off that side. A right-hand shot would be playing it, obviously, over there into maybe a more critical area of the ice, especially when you're in the defensive zone. You want to be pulling it back to the backhand. But there's the after effect right there where Steen just drilled Kyle Turris to the ice after that face-off win.
Yeah, you know, in that situation, you always want to kind of pull it towards the boards, because if it goes back into the middle area, the left winger for the Senators is going to get up to the point very quickly. So it's better off to, you can't get through all the traffic on the left side as opposed to the right side of the ice.
And that's why the Blues have the benefit there on that top line with Steen and with Backes, one a right and one a left-hand shot, as Kyle Turris, the former 3rd overall draft pick of the Phoenix Coyotes, puts his bucket back on.
Meanwhile, Stewart and Ryan get roughing minors. Then we'll go 4-on-4. The only goal tonight by Morrow at 14:08 of the first period. Carlson trying to get in for Ottawa. That's broken up by Oshie and now grabbed by Leopold. Oshie is out there with Berglund as the forwards. And the pass to the big Swede. And then Berglund gets by Smith. For Oshie down low. Reverse hit on Cowan. And now a little stutter step move by Oshie.
Great balance.
And now to the line for Pollock. And big Roman a shot. That was wide. Taken by Berglund. Gets away from Carlson. In front of Leopold. And it never got to his stick. Blocked by the goaltender Leonard. And now taken by Carlson. And the former Norris Trophy winner, Erik Karlsson, dumps one in, which isn't the wisest plan of 4-on-4. Now the Blues a breakaway. And Alexander Steen in the clear. And a save by Leonard. And now Backes picks it up. To the line to Shattenkirk. And then to Backes on the give and go. Shattenkirk right in. Fires it just wide. What a play there. And then Shattenkirk forced high and off his stick to center ice.
The reason why Steen was wide open there on that breakout, 2 Senators players on the line changed. They collided with one another.
And now Backes comes in for Shattenkirk. And a pass in front. That's broken up, but now it's Steen. Spins at the line away from Conacher. Down low. Here's the captain right in front. And the puck is knocked away by Leonard. Held in by the Blues. And then Jackman. Long bouncing shot. That's tipped wide. And then grabbed by Steen. It's all Blues at this point. Jackman for Steen. As we go 4-on-4. Now for Bouwmeester. To the front to Steen. Wide open. And a shot. That's wide. Now Steen again. Held by Mathot. And he may have gotten away with one. To the deep slot to Backes. Then Backes from a tight angle. And he goes around the net. For Stewart is back on the ice. And Stewart runs right over a Senator player. I think that was Mathot. And now we get a whistle.
That was Mark Mathot. He just ran right into him. Mathot out of gas, running around. The Blues had such great possession time in the offensive zone, but weren't able to get anything out of it other than that hit there by Stewart. A couple of good scoring chances right there. See how solid Chris Stewart is at 235 pounds. Bang, shoulder to shoulder. But this is a large group on the back end for Ottawa. Jared Cowan, Eric Gryba, Patrick Wierkosh, and Mark Mathot. Look at all of them over 6'4", and only Wierkosh is, 205. Just a wee little man, 205.
No, you're a wee little man. Now it's Pietrangelo for Bouwmeester. And that shot tipped high off the glass and then taken by Schwartz now for Tarasenko. And Vladdy Tarasenko down low for Schwartz. Looks in front, tried to get to the front. He was denied. And then Pietrangelo follows up. Senators trying to clear it away. And Schwartz hounding the puck along with Tarasenko. And now back on the goal for Roy. In front. Bouwmeester winds up a shot, and that's well wide. And then around for Tarasenko. Spezza stole it from him. And now it's chipped along by McCulloch, who missed most of last year with a knee injury. And then Bouwmeester looking for a faceoff down low, but it's knocked away by his teammate Schwartz, and ahead to Roy. And late on his shift, he gets the puck to the Ottawa line. And then Cowan to center ice for Condra. And the Blues break that up with 13.5 to play in the second period. Now Carlson in a shot. Oh, a save Halak. And it's on the goal line, and somebody knocked it out, maybe Leopold. That got behind Halak and was very close to the goal line.
Yeah, that first one stung Halak in the right shoulder. He couldn't find it. Great play by Leopold.
And the Blues clear it high, then back down the ice. And now it's grabbed by Bouwmeester. Here's Cowan. Has to wait for a teammate to clear the zone. He does. And it goes deep for Brendan Morrow, who is nudged by Neal. Worked along to Bouwmeester, now to center. And then right back in offside. And we will get a break in the action. The Blues 1-0 lead. And it was very close to being a tie ball game.
As an officer in charge of one of the Coast Guard's specialized tactical law enforcement teams,
Commander, at this point, we honor our service member of the game, John Jorgensen.
thank you, Lieutenant Commander.
Is honored tonight here at Scott Trade.
Protecting and serving our country.
And John Jorgensen, a 20-year vet, saw this play here in the great hands of Jordan Leopold, keeping that shot from crossing the goal line. It was going in. Make no mistake about it. Leopold does a great job. Great quick reaction.
That was right on the goal line. And the puck must be completely across the line for it to be a goal.
Have to see daylight between the puck and the blue and the red line.
And now a pass by MacArthur, too far for Turris. Turning Pietrangelo now to Pollock. And the Blues to center. Steen, nice feed. Oh, Steen was hit late by Ryan. Blues come in now for Stewart. To Steen, a drive, and a pad save by Leonard. And now it's taken by Jared Cowan. And then the puck up the middle. Glove down by Pietrangelo. And his pass off the board. Picked off by Ryan. Here's Ryan, a shot. And a pad save by Halak. And then the rebound is put on goal by Turris. And again pushing.
And again, Turris not backing away from what's going on right here, but every single skirmish.
And Darren, I know you know Turris really well. Is he this kind of player?
Well, he is a competitive person, and he's not the biggest in terms of weight, but he's a terrific athlete, and he's a feisty competitor. I mean, he's not backing away. He's been tested since he was the 3rd overall pick. The Phoenix Coyotes brought him out of University of Wisconsin probably a year early, but he is really caught up to the game now that he's been a member of the Ottawa Senators. He did really well with Wayne Gretzky his first year. Wayne Gretzky gave him a lot of confidence and thinks the world of him because of his hockey instincts. But again, he's not going to get backed away. And he and David Bax have gone at it all night long. We know David Bax has got probably 25 pounds on Kyle Turris.
And now this is floated in toward the goal. Halak can't smother it. And now back to the goal. It's DaCosta coming in front, a shot, and a save by Halak. And guess what? More extracurricular activity. This time it's Oshie back to the goal.
Because the Senators, when they're firing the puck, they're going right to the blue paint looking for loose pucks. And I like what the Blues are doing here. I mean, take care of your own house.
And that's Jackman.
Yeah, make sure you don't allow any poking away at pucks. You got to protect your goal. You got to protect your area.
And that's Condra,
the former St. Louis Bandit of the North American Junior Hockey League.
And now Jackman is pushed by Wierkosh. Of course, Jackman fought Neal in that game in Ottawa.
Well, this comes as advertised, doesn't it? You know?
It is not a shock to me.
No.
Well, join us in celebrating the 10 Blues players competing in the Olympics by purchasing a Sochi 10-game pack. Choose 10 games that fit your schedule and also receive playoff ticket purchase priority. Call us now at 622-BLUES. And
Patrick
will not
Berglund
get any penalties after that last skirmish.
Yep, Shattenkirk will be there representing the USA. Berglund will be representing Sweden. We'll just go down the list. There's 10, now 9 St. Louis Blues.
And all the Olympians are wearing their gloves that they'll use in the Olympics in practice to try and break them in. Now Bouwmeester for Roy. Spezza cuts him off and knocks it down. And then Spezza lost it to Roy. Here's Schwartz ahead for Pietrangelo. Trying to dart through a hole. Roy follows up. He's in the clear. Shot! And that just wide. And then Schwartz trying to center it. Tarasenko for Schwartz.
Oh, good play.
Tarasenko again in front. Little short pass intended for Roy. And the Senators break it up, and Spezza, their first round pick in 01. And the captain of Ottawa, that pass to the front, bounces toward the goal, and knocked away by Halak, and then put off the glass by Roy, and over the glass and out of play.
Well, Derek Roy had a heck of a shift in his own zone there. After Spezza stripped him the puck, he came right back at him and pickpockets him there. Plays it up to Schwartz, and then it's down the other way. Good scoring chance there to the far side, and then complete puck possession again as Schwartz stays with it, plays it back to Tarasenko, looking for the pass to Derek Roy, but it just got intercepted at the last second.
Again, the Ottawa native Derek Roy, almost a point a game against the Ottawa Senators in his career. And he's been dangerous all night. Now Lapierre on the face-off against Smith. Lapierre wins it. And then it goes to Leopold. Shots in this period, 5-5. Leopold to Reeves. He pounds it in. And Leonard gets it around the board. Reeves knocks it down. Now for Morrow. And then Morrow pushed by Mathot. On to Lapierre in front. Leopold is there off his skate. And then it's picked up by Zach Smith. And here he comes to center ice for Neal. He waits, and a shot. Big rebound, coughed up. And a puck loose there. And Halak has it, I think, between the left arm and his body. Now it's in his glove.
He has it, and again, the blue sweaters are between the goaltender and the Ottawa Senators players. And that's the way you're supposed to be. It's good. That's good protection right there. Chris Neal driving hard to the net, and he and Reeves now pushing and shoving. Leopold pinched in the offensive zone, looking for a pass from behind the net from Max Lapierre. And Leopold's right there in front, 33 in the blue. That's why Ryan Reeves was backing him up. So Reeves, who has played some D during the lockout, he went to the East Coast League, played forward, played D, played everything. Anyway, he gets back there, helps out, and there you see Smith had a stranglehold there on Leopold from behind. And then the Blues players come on in.
Chris Neal over 2,000 penalty minutes in his career.
And now Backes against Turris on the draw.
And they've had their battles tonight. Turris wins it. And then MacArthur's shot blocked by Backes. And then he's knocked down the puck in front. Turris a drive. And that's off the leg of Bouwmeester. And now it's Bobby Ryan. And he was checked by Backes. Good play down low. And now Bouwmeester at the line. Almost lost it. Gets it on to Steen. And then moved along by Pietrangelo. And his wrist shot off a body to the corner. And then Steen trying to make a pass. He does now for Stewart. Stewart In a tight area, can't get it to Steen. Oh, Steen took a shot from Ryan. And a penalty call. I'm not sure if that was Ryan's elbow or a stick, but Steen is stunned. And a penalty has been called. And the Blues will go to power play, leading 1-0.
Probably expected this type of game, a little bit of a feisty game after the last meeting in Ottawa.
Yeah, I mean, it's two competitive teams. You know, a lot of the damage is getting done off the rush, so I think if we can take advantage of this end zone time we're getting, finish a couple, maybe we can build ourselves a bigger lead right now, but it's up for grabs right now. It's a heck of a hockey game.
This would be a good time to get a power play goal.
Yeah, just to help us along here. We're working hard. We just need to see a little bit bigger reward.
Thanks, Hitch.
And the Blues get their second power play, 0 for 1 of the night. And Berglund wins the faceoff, back for Shattenkirk. The drive and a save, Leonard has it. And now we get Berglund involved in front, and another penalty call.
Well, it's basically the same thing that the Blues have been doing against the Ottawa Senators, any of the scrums in front. And now Jason Spetz is having a conversation with Marc Jonet, and Marc Jonet was pointing to the Blues net. I am wondering if maybe he warned both teams that if this happens again, either side, he calls it. I don't know. But he's going to wait till he turns on the mic.
Ottawa number 9, Minor penalty for Ruffy.
Ruffy Minor, the Blues will get a 5-on-3. Only their fourth 5-on-3 this year, and given their first one in 36 games.
That's not very many. There's the headlock to Berglund, and I would be certain, based on the gesture by the referee, that after that last skirmish in front of Halak, that he warned everybody and said enough with this stuff. But you got to protect the front of the net, but I guess that just the extra roughing by grabbing him, horse collaring him, the whistle had already gone.
That's a good break there, because there's been a lot
of it. Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot more things happening there.
5-on-3 for 155. Blues control it. Here's Oshie. Steen is in front, along with Backus. Oshie again. Shattenkirk a shot and a save by Leonard with the pad and no rebound. Bernie, have you sensed that the referees are getting frustrated with both teams?
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, that's the linesmen, the referees, everybody is fed up with the talking, especially all the, the yapping after the plays, everybody coming in, all the, the scrums there, and they did. They came over and they did tell the players that enough's enough.
Blues win another face-off. Shattenkirk to Pietrangelo. And then back for Shattenkirk. In tight for Steen on this 5-on-3. Steen across for Oshie. Thought about shooting. Back to Steen, a drive. And that goes wide on a one-timer. And now to the line, Oshie. Hooks one to Shattenkirk. And then for Pietrangelo. Back is right in front of Leonard. Here's Pietrangelo, a shot. And that was wide. Ends up on the stick of Shattenkirk to Oshie. Oshie looks to the Backus, now for Shattenkirk to Pietrangelo. Shattenkirk again. Shattenkirk in front. Red shot. Blocker saved by Leonard. And a minute to go.
He's been good with the blocker.
In the 5-on-3. Steen knocked down in front. Now Pietrangelo for Shattenkirk. The drive and a goal. Saved by Leonard. How he saw that one, I have no idea.
So he's been good with the blocker and good with the mitt. That's a good save right there. A lot of confusion in front of the net. The Blues wanted the defenseman trying to get in front and trying to cause a little disruption. But I like the way the Blues started at the very beginning, starting the power play from behind the net, and they really shrunk it. This one here, I don't know how Robin Leonard saw that one there through traffic with Backus taking a beating in front. Timeout being called by the Blues. They know this is a real important part of the game. Ken Hitchcock and Gary Agnew that run the power play, they know that this is an opportunity, going up 2-0, scoring the second goal of the game. The team that's scoring the second wins 62% of the games, Bernie.
Yes, they do, Panger. And I think the situation now with a timeout to give the number one unit here a little bit of a rest, but I'd like to see this power play get the puck to Alexander Steen a little more often. We're seeing Alexander Steen on a 5-on-3 go to the front of the net. I think maybe he needs to be in a situation where he can maybe one time with Panger. So we'll see if they get it set up here for this last 50 seconds of this 5-on-3.
You know, Bernie, though, one side of it is Steen got himself below the face-off dot on his strong side. He was looking for that slippery little pass, and you can see right here, that's what they're looking for, is maybe this pass right here from Oshie across the grain like that. So he got a little bit deep many times. There he slides up. Now he's going to slide down a little bit right there.
And the Blues control the face-off. 50 to go in the 5-on-3. Back to Shattenkirk. He moves in. Oshie trying to tip it in front. Now for Pietrangelo. Good hold in there by Pietrangelo. And then for Steen to Backes. And he missed it. And the goaltender, Leonard, tipped it away, but not out. And now Steen again. In front. Shattenkirk right in. A shot. And a save by Leonard. And then back for Pietrangelo. 30 to go in the 5-on-3. Fakes it to Steen. To Pietrangelo. Fakes it. A drive. Pad save Leonard. Rebound taken by Steen. Now to Pietrangelo. And then back to the Blues leading goal scorer. A drive by Steen right on goal. And a blocker save by Leonard. And then Oshie. Run down by Mathot and another penalty call. And a cross-check to Mathot.
Mathot knows Oshie's game. Mathot, the former Columbus Blue Jacket. How many battles did they have?
Ottawa number 3, minor penalty for cross-checking.
Keep your eye on the extension of the stick. It's a push at first. It's the second one that is the strong play. The first one was fine by Mathot. Here's the shot by Steen, trying to go high to the blocker side with traffic. A terrific save again by Robin Lehner, up high right there. But it's funny, Bernie, on that last power play, Steen went to the opposite side of the ice.
Yeah, you got to get him on his off wing and get a little more movement. So hopefully now with still 9 seconds on this 15 seconds on the 5-on-3.
Yeah, the Mathot penalty won't start until they get one man back. Now Steen to drive. That's blocked. Senators do clear it. And then Steen to Shattenkirk. Up front now it's Stewart, Roy, and Tarasenko as the Blues come in. Here's Roy dropping it off to Tarasenko. Now for Steen. Steen a shot. Look how that's blocked. And the Senators have it, and they'll kill some time. And then now a man behind the defense. That is Ryan. And he goes to the end boards with Shattenkirk.
That was a heck of a bank pass by Cowan. Off the boards, billiard style, perfect angle.
And now the Senators are one man short. 1:30 left in Mathot's minor. The Blues have had 7 shots so far in the power play. And they dump it in. Tarasenko leaves it for Pietrangelo. And he spins it back for Tarasenko. Across the seam to Bouwmeester. Now Bouwmeester trying to funnel one to the front. That's blocked. And then taken by Cowan, and down the ice it goes.
What's very dangerous about this is that usually the penalties get close to evening up, and the Blues have not scored on the 5-on-3. They need to get another one on this 5-on-4 because you're probably going to see possibly some penalties go the other way.
And again, the Senators intercept.
Usually does happen that way, doesn't it, fellas?
And now Jaden Schwartz on for Bouwmeester. Can't handle it and goes back to Pietrangelo.
But there is still time to score. 40 seconds left.
And Jaden Schwartz right up the gut. Quick shot. And again a blocker saved by Leonard. And now Morrow back of the cage. Schwartz spins off the check from Greiba. And Schwartz now in front for Berglund. And he gets set up. Berglund and Schwartz play catch. And then Berglund again for Schwartz. Morrow's in front, so is Bouwmeester. A shot, and it's saved by Leonard on Bouwmeester.
How did that stay out? Left pad, left skate.
And now it's Schwartz. He stole the puck down low. Backdoor feed, Morrow! And Leonard made a big pad save, and he has it. And then Morrow's involved on the far side, and we get another wrestling match.
Great save by Leonard. He's the difference in this hockey game. Yeah, that's some terrific goaltending. 5-on-3 for an extended period of time. Battles in front of the net. Brendan Morrow had that one right on the tape, and you could hear the thud of the left pad. The push across by the goalie after the first save. Oh, this was Bouwmeester's try. And I don't know how it didn't go in. I thought it went underneath him. Oh, it just came out this side. It just came out right out. And there's that save and that big thud off the left pad by Morrow, who you can't elevate it. He's trying to get as much on it as possible. And the goaltender's pad was right there.
And Leonard has been the difference. He won a Calder Cup a couple of years ago with the Binghamton Senators. Came into a playoff series for the first time, and his team was down 3-1, and they came back to win the series en route to the Cup. And the Senators win the faceoff. And that's it. The Blues do not score on that extended 5-on-3. 10 shots total. Now Spezza to the drive, and that was blocked, and then taken by Steen. With 5.5 to play in the second period. as Stewart flies in. Stops on Zibanejad, and now Stewart at the line to Backes. Cruises down low. Backes for Steen. Forced to his backhand. And then Steen was knocked down. Trying to drop it off, but that was taken by Spezza. Here come the Senators. Carlson's up the ice as well. He gets it. He scores! Carlson! And he ties the game at 1.
What a pass by Spezza. Holy jumping. He just first spins backhander right on the tape to the right-hander. And Ken Hitchcock told us that this is a team that is terrific on the rush. They're a rush attack team. They can cut, drop, they're old school, and this is absolutely perfect by Spezza. Through the seam, one-timer, just inside the post. That just pretty much says it all right there. The puck was down low in the offensive zone, but Carlson makes them pay. Only Duncan Keith has more points.
His 14th of the year. The top scoring defenseman in the league ties it at 1450. And now the Blues working with Payarvi. To the net. Rebound. Oh, Oshie, what a save there! I believe Leonard got a piece, and it goes out of play. Oshie had a wide open net. And Leonard reaching across. Makes the save. Carlson has tied it.
Well, the fans here at Scottrade are going to be pleasantly surprised here because that last play when we didn't know where it went, let's keep your eye on this part of the net right up there. Here's the shot. And it is right under there. It is underneath the bar and in the net, and it stayed up top. TJ Oshie's looking. He's pointed. There it is. I thought it glanced off the bar and went up top. And TJ Oshie's saying, well, that would be the puck. Mike Hazen-France. There it is, and it's a goal.
Yeah, I thought the puck went out of play. We had no idea where it was, and Oshie knew it was in. And this will be a goal. And they'll make the announcement here at center ice.
After review, it's determined that the puck had entered the net but stuck underneath the bar.
That's a real good play by Magnus Payarvi as well. Hasn't seen a whole lot of ice time in this game. Comes flying down the left side and just puts a puck towards fellow Swede Robin Leonard. And Leonard just pushes it out front. Good pass by Pietrangelo. Speed, driving hard. Beats Gryba there. Just pushes it in front off the pad. And there's the shot.
Well, you see something new every day. As Oshie is one part goal scorer, another part detective. And he gets the goal his 13th at 15:09. And the Blues, 19 seconds after Carlson scores, they go back on top. And the Senators win the faceoff. And now Carlson for Neal. And a roller in, taken care of by Polak. In front, Neal knocks it down. Neal for Greening. And that backhander was blocked and now taken by Reeves to center ice. One hand, one to the corner. And then it's Morrow down low. Back of the goal, the Senators get it back in Carlson. And now on to center ice for Zach Smith. Smith cuts in a shot. That's tipped wide. And now it goes to the end wall. Payarvi and Pietrangelo get the assist on the goal by Oshie, his 13th. And now Polak for Lapierre. And a high puck is caught by the goaltender Leonard. And we get a whistle. Well, the Blues will be well represented in the Olympics, and during the Olympic break, Fox Sports Midwest brings you two specials on the Players' Road to Sochi. Panger sits down with Bouwmeester and Pietrangelo as they prepare to represent Team Canada in the second special. Oshie, Shattenkirk, and Backes share their stories and excitement as they head to Sochi for Team USA. Blues Confidential Road to Sochi premieres Wednesday, February 10th on Fox Sports, or February 12th rather, on Fox Sports Midwest. And Darren, I know you are really looking forward to that special, and a lot of very interesting conversation, I'm sure, will come out of that.
Yeah, no question about it. It's special for these guys to be teammates and be going together. And then, you see the look on Tarasenko, and then just so unfortunate for Vladdy Sobotka not being a part of it. But make no mistake, he was named an Olympian. Just because of that injury, he won't be able to be a player there.
And now the Blues break to center ice. Here comes Schwartz. He works in from the boards, a drive, and a save by Leonard, who was off his angle just a bit there, but made the stop.
Now that's a good shot. See, when you're talking stick side, you're talking 18 inches. The pads are you're talking about 11 to 12, just barely over the pad. And with his head up all the way, he's got a real wicked shot. And he's trying to get it right above the pad and just below the blocker. That is a very difficult save, but a good shot by Schwartz, who told us today that his best memories of the Olympics were watching his hero, Joe Sakic, win the MVP in 2002.
And it was in Salt Lake City.
Yep. Leonard didn't look like he was in very good position there, Panger, though, on that one, though. I would say he wasn't really square to the shot.
I would tell you why. A lot of times off a left winger, you think they're going to pull it across their body, Byrne?
Okay.
And go to the far side.
Okay.
So you kind of get leaning that way, and then you got to recover.
Yeah, because he looked like, wow, that was came close to going in.
Yeah, Bernie, the short side was wide open, and we have a really good angle from our perspective. And now Bouwmeester tripped up, and another penalty here against the Senators. On a trip on Bouwmeester.
Well, the same situation arises now when the Blues had the 1-0 lead. They want to increase it to 2 goals, and now it's become a 2-1 game.
93 minor penalty for tripping.
Zibanejad is going to go off right here. Watch this stick right under the left skate of Bouwmeester.
So Zibanejad goes to the box, and the Blues on the power play for the 5th time. And leading here 2-1. And the faceoff won by Smith. Thought sent it around, kept in by Steen. Blues 0 for 4 with 10 shots total. And Stewart gets it free. Now Backes for Shattenkirk. And back to the corner. Stewart's in the area. Comes free to Backes in front. A shot. And a save there by Leonard. And picked up by Smith. And he walks it on to center ice. Down the boards for Eric Condra. And Shattenkirk closed rank on him and broke it up. And Derek Roy funnels it ahead to Backes. And then to Bouwmeester. Those play dump and chase here on the power play.
Yeah, no choice for Bouwmeester there. Everybody was kind of stagnant at the blue line. So the only way to enter the zone is to regroup. But that's a good play. Now the Blues still have plenty of opportunity here. Get it in, get it calmed down. The Blues are so good when the face-off just begins on the power play, where they win the face-off and then they get that shot on goal right away and get the defensive team reeling. But now it's about regroups.
Blues were 0 for 2 in Ottawa in that 3-2 loss. Now they send it around Berglund. Back on the line, Pietrangelo. And that is gloved down by Jared Cowan. Then back to center ice. 40 to go in the power play. And then Bouwmeester takes a heavy hit at center ice from MacArthur. Cowan gets it again. And he waited too long, and then Oshie came in to knock it away.
One thing about Ottawa, they don't shy away from finishing their check all over the ice.
Berglund in front to Bouwmeester, and that was blocked by Cowan. Chops it, kept in by Pietrangelo.
Nice play.
Now to Tarasenko. In front, Wade shoots, and a glove save by Leonard. Made that one look easy.
Yeah, might have glanced off the stick in front and then went to the short side. I'm not sure. If Tarasenko was able to get that up that high with all those sticks there, I mean, we've seen some great things from this young man, Vladdy Tarasenko, but this puck should have got out by Ottawa, but Pietrangelo does a great job of keeping it in. I think that might have gone off the stick of Carlson right there. Yep, and right into the glove. I think it was probably going wide to that glove side.
And now Roy wins it too decisively, and Leopold cannot hold it in. And 12 to go in the Blues power play. And Derek Roy starts to center ice. Senators back in. Now for Morrow to the net. And that's knocked away by Leonard. Under a minute to go in the period. Here's Leopold to Schwartz. Sends her back at full strength. Schwartz to the line to Leopold. And a wrist shot, tipped just wide. The Blues had 3 shots on that power play. And now it's picked up by Schwartz, stripped in front. And the Senators with it, and Mika Zibanejad gets it at the Blues line. Zibanejad to the corner, trying to center one. And that's off the back of the Blues goal. And now Shattenkirk quickly onto Morrow and ahead to Roy. And Roy comes in. He delays. To the net now, a shot. Hit a Senator player, goes to Morrow. He's got plenty of time. That shot off a leg, kept in by Jackman for Pollock. That drive. And again, it's tipped wide of the goal. And the Blues are winning a lot of puck battles.
Yeah, they are.
Backus to the line to Pollock. The drive and a save by Leonard. And held in by Jackman. Rebound to Schwartz. Wide open Backus. He scores! David Backus!
The Schwartz is with us here in St. Louis. This is calmness like you read about. Everyone's going towards Schwartz to the left of the goaltender, Leonard. Everybody bites. They're all nibbling on it. And keep your eye on the right side of the screen here. I mean, why wouldn't you think he's shooting the puck? Except that David Back's on the far side, and he points right over to Jaden Schwartz. What a tremendous play. But give Brendan Morrow a lot of credit on this shift as well. He kept a bunch of pucks in, strong on the hunt, wouldn't give up, and that enabled that play to stay alive.
And also Jackman's shot from the point, did not throw it back in the corner, throw it on net was a big deal.
And Backus gets his 20th, the 4th time he's hit 20 goals. That's the end of the period. The goal at 19:55. Schwartz and Jackman get the assist. And that is a huge goal as the Blues skate off with a 3-1 lead. Let's go to Pat Paris. On a snowy, cold night in St. Louis, the Blues with a 3-1 lead over the Senators. John and Darren back in the broadcast booth, and obviously this arena is still buzzing about the Oshie goal. We were wondering, you know, the puck was shot and then we went to a TV timeout. Had we not gone to the TV timeout, I wonder if Oshie would have had time to do his detective work.
Yeah, and I wonder who on the bench, because when he skated back, maybe it was Brian Elliott that said something to him, like, you might want to check the net because we couldn't see where that puck went because we thought it hit the crossbar and went out of play. Bernie, do you have any more word down below?
Yeah, you know what? I just talked to the bench here, and Osh was the only one that saw it go in, Banger. He came back to the bench, and he talked to a couple of the guys, and they said, well, we don't know because no one else saw it. And then they ended up going in, and certainly he was the one that went back to the bench. He talked to everybody. He was so sure that it went in that he went back to the bench, and he came back, and he actually found it as we all saw on the shot there, right there, that he saw where it was. So no one else on the bench saw it.
I guess the key, though, you can see the Ice Girls are on the ice. It was a TV timeout. If it wasn't a TV timeout and they dropped the puck quickly, assuming it went out of play, then once that puck is dropped, then it would not have been a reviewable situation. It would have been no goal.
You know what, Panger, though, I did talk to Jimmy Kim, who is the video consultant up top, and he did say right away he thought it went in. So he called Toronto. He told me he called Toronto immediately to say that he thought that the puck went in. So he was watching and he saw something maybe that we didn't see. But he told me he was clear that he did see it go in.
So he would have beeped down.
Yes, I think he would have, yes.
That's right. Great.
Senators win the face-off, a drive by Cowan, and a save by Halak. By the way, at the end of that second period, Clark MacArthur of Ottawa picked up a 10-minute misconduct. So he'll sit for the first 10 of the third.
Clark MacArthur plays on the left wing with their really most productive line with Kyle Turris at center and Bobby Ryan on the right. So for Paul McLean, that's a big blow for 10 minutes when you're down by 2 goals.
And the Blues control the face-off ahead now for Steen. Carlson, who can skate so well. And with those offensive instincts, he reminds me a lot of a guy like Paul Coffey. Panger and Bernie, I don't know if that's an apt comparison, but man, can he move. Now Steen comes in, and that shot is blocked by Spezza. And then Steen back of the goal for Shattenkirk. And then to Backus. Am I off base, Panger, or is he in the ballpark as far as comparing him to Coffey?
Well, Coffey was so smooth, it's crazy. Yeah. He didn't have any grooves in his skate. He just skated right on the top of the ice, which I've never seen anybody do. But Carlson can skate, John. I'm not going to disagree with that at all.
Yeah, definitely Paul Coffey could float better than players could skate. And I think that's a big difference there is Backus and Spezza tie each other up before they go on. And I think the wrist shot, that part of the game of Karlsson is really, really good. The overall, I mean, let's face it, Coffey's the Hall of Famer. He almost scored 50 goals one year.
I tell you, Karlsson can shoot it, though, Panger. I tell you what, the couple of shots that he's had, even the wrister that Leopold saved going on to the, to the goal line. I mean, he stung Halak with that shot, quick wrister from the sideboards.
Now it's Jaden Schwartz, and his drive got on goal, and saved by Leonard.
Derek Roy goes down after that easy one here, but our BMO Harris Bank check replays of the game, and it started early with some physicality. Shattenkirk steps up on McCulloch. Look at the way David Backus gets taken down there on a 2-on-1 by Neal. Bobby Ryan takes his man down, and Chris Stewart and Mark Mathot collide on the corner, and Mathot gets the worst of that one there.
And now Lapierre to the net. And that was turned away by Leonard. Zach Smith might have actually won that face-off back at his own goal. And now the Senators to center. They tip it down the ice. And Jaroslavl plays one to the far side for Leopold. Under some pressure there from Chris Neal. And then Morrill swats at it. Gets it ahead for Polak. And he cruises in. Now for Ryan Reeves to the middle. And then Lapierre follows up off his leg. And then Neal does it off the glass and back into Blues end. And it's settled by Leopold to his partner Polak. We'll see if things settle down here in the third period. In what has been a very contentious game. That is tipped by Lapierre way too high. And a whistle. Well, Blues Mardi Gras packs are on sale now, giving you the perfect combo to enjoy the festivities in Soulard and Blues hockey. You'll get a ticket to the Bud Light Party 10 in Soulard on March 1st and the Blues Fat Tuesday game on March 4th for one great price. Visit stlouisblues.com/tickets for details.
If I'm not mistaken, the great Canadian band Bare Naked Ladies, I think their schedule will be in Soulard during Mardi Gras.
I did not know that. That game, by the way, on March 4th is against Tampa Bay.
And if I had $100 million, you know that.
And you wish you did, of course. And the puck up the middle, kept in by Pietrangelo now for Oshie. To the front. That was intended for Payarvi. And the Senators break it up.
I think that the song goes, if I had $1 million.
Not $100 million.
Not $100 million. I've added a whole bunch of Pichnagel.
$1 million's not going to do you enough, Panger. You need the $100 million.
Here's Jackman ahead for Oshie. What a pass by Oshie. How did he do that? And now it's Shattenkirk into the zone. And a pass off a leg. And now it's taken by McCulloch. Stewart follows up and finally chipped away in Zibanejad in for Ottawa. 1-on-2, a shot blocked by Shattenkirk. And now grabbed by Alexander Steen. I mean, Oshie in one move did a 360 and a laser pass across the ice was on the tape.
I can't believe the one sport he never played growing up was lacrosse. I mean, he would be unbelievable.
Uh-oh, Stewart broke his stick, and Ryan's shot is blocked, and now picked up by Garrett Jackman. And he gets to center ice.
I imagine the message from the bench is going to be get this puck going straight ahead and quit with the dingle-dangles, as Hitch likes to say.
Boy, lucky Mahalik was wide open there.
Yes.
Bobby Ryan did not spot him at all. Wow.
And this is Schwartz in there with Tarasenko. And Buddy Tarasenko charges back to the goal, puts on the brakes. Roy to the front along with Schwartz. Now to Roy. And he can't get a shot. But there's Schwartz again for Pietrangelo. And he tries a little toe drag at the line, lost it, and then feathered back in by Bouwmeester.
There's always one guy in every line that you can see really has jump. And not very often do you see all three guys humming like we did in the last game with Derek Roy, Tarasenko, and Schwartz. But in this game, I would single out Jaden Schwartz as having one heck of a hockey game. I mean, taking nothing away from the other two, he has just been all over in this game.
And the Blues get the puck to center ice. And Max Lapierre steps in and a shot. And that is gloved by Leonard. And again, we have words near the Ottawa net.
And Chris Neal just pokes at the big man, Ryan Reeves, as they get close. I think the linesman had, early on in this game, it looked like the linesmen were actually telling the boys, okay, you guys want to go dance. You guys go ahead. Go fight. Drop the mitts and go at it. Here's Oshie. Right here, he's got it, and he's going to go one way north. No, he's going to roll away from Condra. And that's why I said he'd be a great lacrosse player. I mean, in box lacrosse especially, you got to roll off of checks. And that was almost like he had that lacrosse stick, Bernie, right in front of him.
Yeah, he scooped at it. Centrifugal force. That's like you put water in a pail. You use that big motion, none of the water falls out of the pail. So that's beautiful to watch.
And Oshie's on a real high since his Seahawks won the Super Bowl on Sunday. And, of course, a huge Seahawk fan, and he's had quite the night tonight.
Well, in his last 15 games, since he was named to the Olympic team, he's been a plus player, 6 goals. Now he's got 7. And what do we got there? I do my math. That's 11 points since that time.
And a drive by Leopold. Oshie, a native of Everett, Washington. Huge Seahawk fan, but he's never been to a game in Seattle. As the Blues on the forecheck. Kicked by Oshie to the line. And then Pollock off the dasher. Payarvi is canceled by Cowan. And now the Senators to center ice. Turris in for Conacher, and they wait too long. And that's offside. Catch Missouri Valley Conference and St. Louis U hoops basketball tomorrow night. Unbeaten Wichita State takes on Indiana State at 7. And number 13 SLU visits St. Joseph's at 6 on Fox Sports Midwest Plus. And the Bills are having a great year at 20-2, their best start ever.
No, they're going to be good. They can compete for the whole darn thing, can't they?
Why not?
They're going to be right there. And my mistake, too, about the Bare Naked Ladies, they're going to be at the Pet Parade the week before Mardi Gras.
Well, you were close.
I was still thinking of centrifugal force.
Stay tuned to Fox Sports Midwest. You can hear it all here, Panger.
Here's a pass in front, and a shot in by Turris. What a play, or rather McCulloch. And that is a beautiful three-way passing play. McCulloch buries it.
Well, Hitch has said it many times, but on the rush, this is a dangerous, dangerous team. And this is a world-class goal all the way around. McCulloch will go to the Olympics, and he is a heck of a player. He'll be there for the Czech Republic. Watch his play by Zibanejad there. Pass by Spezza with eyes in the back of his head, and no one's following the puck receiver right there. There's a lot of gliding going back, but no one's tracking, no one's hunting him back, and it's an easy tap-in right there.
McCulloch's 8th of the year, first goal in 14 games. And we have got a one-goal game here.
Well, if that didn't get everyone's attention, not sure what will, besides me talking about the Bare Naked Ladies. We all get loose, and the Ottawa Senators stay with the game plan.
So it's 3-2, the goal at 5:52. Leonard sets it up, now a pass ahead to Colin Greening. And he overskates it. And a delayed offside, the lock tees it up for Leopold. And now on to center ice for Lapierre. He dumps it in. The Blues with leading after 2, a record of 25-0-3. Around the boards, Reeves. And then Leopold can't handle the bouncing puck. The Senators, when trailing after 2, a mark of 4-17-2. McCulloch gets that goal from Spezza and Zibanejad. And the puck at the Ottawa line, the thought. And then for Carlson, he goes wide. On Leopold, a shot to the net. That's tipped by Pollock and off the glass. And the Blues to center ice. Reeves dumps it in. That is hit by Chris Deal. And they have words as Cowan gets into center ice. And now to Carlson, and that goes deep. Senators have now scored on 2 of their last 3 shots on goal. And now they tie the game. Just like that, it's 3-3. And a weird one.
This offense generated from behind the goal line, along the boards. And now we've got ourselves a hockey game at 3-3. And this Never Say Die Ottawa Senators squad has stunned Ken Hitchcock and the Blues. But I'm sure at the very beginning, when it got a little loose, that's when Hitch probably started raising his voice on that bench. Here's a play by Turris behind, and he just backhand shovels it off of Bouwmeester and in the net. From this angle here, off the skate first, of Schwartz. And then, underneath the goaltender, Yaroslav Halak not sealing the bottom of the ice, expecting that puck to come out in front.
And Turris gets his 19th at 7:02. 2 goals in 1:10. And it's 3-3.
The second period, there are 2 goals in 19 seconds.
And now the Blues fail to clear it. In front, and the shot by DaCosta was blocked. And now it's Payarvi. Bouncing at the line, Carlson knocks it down, broke his stick, and the Blues get it. Shattenkirk to center, and then Berglund ran into the broken stick. And now it comes ahead to Oshie. And he was chopped down by Cowan. Then it goes back to the goal. Greiba there, worked over by Roy. But now on to Conacher, up the middle. And Zibanejad comes in, drops it off, and a hard shot there by DaCosta, and a pad save by Halak. And it goes around to Schwartz. And Schwartz floats one to center.
Nice play.
And then Roy couldn't touch it. Now Tarasenko comes in, and that's cleaned up in front by Greiba. And Greiba back of the goal. Almost lost it to Roy. Senators try a long pass, and then picked up by Spezza. In front, McCulloch. And he can't get a shot in the Blues. And Tarasenko at the line. They don't clear it. Spezza with it. A shot. He scores! Spezza! And it's 4-3 Ottawa.
And this is falling apart in a big, bad hurry. Mark Methot did a phenomenal job of out-muscling the Blues players on the blue line. Absolutely out-muscling them. The Blues could have easily had this puck out of the zone, but Methot hung in there, and he held the line. Now you hear Hitchcock saying, get it back. Well, here's the play here, and you think this is out, but Tarasenko overskates it, gets to the offensive side of it, one quick shot. I think it glanced off the blade of Bouwmeester and rises right there. And just catches it under the bar and in, stunning the goaltender and the Blues players and coaches. And remember, the Blues called their timeout on the 5-on-3 in the second period.
And Spezza with a goal and 2 assists. 3 goals and 2:35. And the Senators lead for the first time. And now Pollock with it. Pressured by Greeny. And then Leopold leaves it. And now Pollock up the boards. Off Steen's stick. Played by Methot. Here comes back. It's now for Steen. 3 goals and 2:35. And the crowd here at Scottrade is stunned. And Leonard sets it up for Greiba to Methot. Picked off at center ice by Pietrangelo. And he comes in. And that pass to the front was off a stick and back to center. Now Oshie with it. And he winds it right back in. And then gets Payarvi, tips one to Berglund. And then Berglund tied up by Spezza, or rather Turris. Oshie trying to get away from Methot. Oshie to the back for Bouwmeester. And then around the wall, DaCosta with it, and the rookie will clear it by Berglund into the blue zone. And Jay Bouwmeester with 10:20 left in regulation time, and the Blues down by 1. Bouwmeester now in for Lapierre. And then played around by Cowan. And this trickles to center ice. Pietrangelo. Far side for Morrow. And he runs into a Senator play. The Blues changing almost too many men there.
Remind you a little bit of that Nashville game. The Blues were up 2-0 behind Bax' goal. And then Nashville scored 3 straight to make it 3-2.
And a pass by Cowan. Picked up at center ice, Zibanejad. He works in there. Now for Spezza. And then Jackman gives him no room to work. And then Morrow throws it back on the goal to Kevin Shattenkirk. And Shattenkirk to center ice. That's tipped by Lapierre. And turning is Patrick Wierkoch.
And this is the center. John Kelly, this is the center team that played last night.
Exactly.
There's no excuse for the Blues to have their foot off the pedal like this. They know that Ottawa's a feisty team.
And Conacher way high. Just throws it back of the goal for Condra. And he was turned away, and now Derek Roy bounces to center ice. Here's Roy for Tarasenko. And then for Roy. Schwartz follows up.
Oh, what a play.
Off the board, Jaden Schwartz in front. A shot and a pass save by Leonard. And now Leopold with it. Leopold. Yes! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
What a read by the veteran Leopold. Right after Jaden Schwartz had so much calmness in his veins, gave the Senators a little bit of dipsy-doodle, had a great shot to the right pad. The terrific save by Leonard. This is the play by, look at this calmness. Thanks for coming. What a play. But then it's Leopold that slides in. He looks to the front as if he's going to pass and drills it off the side of the body of the big guy, Leonard. How this gets in, I have no idea. Squirts between the side of the arm and the body and in the net across the goal line.
His first goal as a Blue for Jordan Leopold, and his first goal in 38 games. And the Blues tie the game at 4. And a drive by Greening is off the shoulder of Alak. And we get a whistle. Is there a full moon tonight? Somewhere beyond the snow? It's a weird one.
Time for a Bommarito Automotive Sports Update. Blues host Boston Thursday night. Tonight, the Bruins entertaining the Canucks. All Boston in this one. And a big night for Jarome McGinley. Records his 600th career assist on the game's first goal. Also scores his 16th goal of the season moments later. A 3-1 Bruins win tonight. J.K. Panger, Hall of Famer, back to you.
All right, Pat. He has been worth the price of admission, hasn't he? Throughout his career, Jarome McGinley. What a great player. Watch the blocker in the arm of Robin Leonard. He gets it outside of his body, and that just while he's doing that, that's where Jordan Leopold reads it and just rifles it off the side and into the net. Terrific play by the veteran Leopold. He has always had the ability, when the game's on the line, he understands the clock. And I think that's an old school term, isn't it, Bernie, where you're behind in a game, you know that he always will jump in on the short side. He'll keep pucks alive. He's smart that way.
Yeah, he really is. And I'm surprised that, he doesn't score more goals than he actually does.
His first is a Blue from Schwartz and Roy.
Now he's ready to get on a roll.
And now the Senators come in. Zibanejad with it. And his drive a rocket wide to the short side.
The Blues have got to continue to be aggressive, taking away that line as long as they get a back checker.
And here comes Oshie in front. And a backhander. And a save. And then Backus on the rebound is stopped by Leonard.
What a
now
save.
Steen back of the goal. What a save indeed. Back to the line to Jackman. Jackman fires it. And a save by Leonard. And now it comes to Steen. Off a partition to Backus. And then he is worked over by Jared Cowan. And the Senators come up with it. McCulloch with it. And he gets the puck to the red line. And then dumped in deeper by Cowan.
Nice job by Payarby coming off the bench on a line change. He cut that ice in half nicely and didn't allow Ottawa to get into the zone.
Now Jackman to center ice for Berglund. He lost it. Turris comes in for Ottawa. Turris delays. And then played back to MacArthur, who has served his 10-minute misconduct. Now the Senators steal it down low. Ryan for Turris. Jackman dropped his stick. He gets it, though. Ryan in the slot. And MacArthur spun around and lost the puck. Here comes Shattenkirk into Stewart. Stewart, a drive and a fluttering shot. And a pad save by Leonard.
The Blues work on that kind of shot after practice all the time. Robin Leonard handles that knuckle puck right there. But not this one. Two Jack Adams Award winners right there. And when you look at these goals here, they're just funny goals. I mean, let's face it. This one by Turris behind the goal line off Schwartz's skate. Doesn't glance off Bouwmeester. And here's Leopold. Below the goal line. Off the left arm, it looked like. From that angle. That's a better angle right there. Good look at it, guys.
And now Lapierre wins the face-off. Next, Lapierre gets it, and a shot, and a blocked to save by Leonard, who was deep in his net there. And the Senators play it off the boards, and that will be an icing call against Ottawa.
There's a Blues tie-in on the bench for the Ottawa Senators. And great to see Mark Reeds, who has done an outstanding job, and assistant coach Rick Walmsley as well has done a magnificent job with the goaltenders that he's been at, no matter what team he's worked with. And of course, Big Mac, Paul McLean. Bernie, there's your old teammate.
The dude. Mark Reed's the dude.
Blues win the faceoff, and a try by Pietrangelo.
Just love the nicknames in hockey. He does look like a dude.
Here's Reeves now for Lapierre. Delayed penalty here against Ottawa. Back for Bouwmeester. And the Senators do not touch this. And now they do. Greening does. And the Blues will get another power play.
Not like they haven't had their opportunities. They've had 5-on-3 for 1:55. They could have blown this game wide open in the second period. But they did have a 3-1 lead after 40 minutes of play before McCulloch, Turris, and Spezza ended up scoring 3 goals. Leopold's tied it at 4. If you've missed this one, you've missed a beauty. Physicality, right off the hop. Ryan Reeves was on the first shift trying to spark a scrap. Oh, a high stick right there on Gryba. And a little slash. Gryba got his money's worth right there. Oh, another poke at the back of the legs.
The Blues 0 for 5 and 13 power play shots. They've had 43 for the night in this 4-4 game. Senators control the faceoff. Steen kicks it. And then Roy gloves it, but now it's picked up by Carlson.
Okay, 3-on-2.
And from center ice, and a glove save by Halak.
That's a smart play. Smart play by Carlson right there. You know, he's got a hard shot, as Bernie said. And Bernie looked to me like he was even trying to maybe skip this one a little bit.
Yeah, it did. It was kind of funny the way he kind of took way too much ice on that one.
Just a big divot.
Yep.
Bernie just trying to lay the sod over it. You couldn't lay the sod over outside in St. Louis right now.
No.
It's like what they got on the ice right here.
I don't even know if there's any grass here in St. Louis. It's been so long since we've been able to see it.
Carlson missed most of last year with a severed Achilles tendon. But I'll tell you what, he's come back strong.
Well, he came back last year unexpectedly quick. Unbelievable for him to bounce back from that kind of injury.
Who's on the power play? Shattenkirk now in for Berglund. He defers to Backus. To the line to Shattenkirk. He winds up to Steen, and he broke his stick. I told you there's a full moon tonight.
There's a lot of broken twigs out there tonight.
And now back for Shattenkirk. And that was blocked by Greening. And a delayed offside. Carlson will kill some time here.
I mean, yeah, you think about the beginning when that stick shattered and it went right in the ear of Alex Pietrangelo, and he had to go off for stitches.
And now Steen gets it back from Smith. Schwartz up the ice. In on Mark Methot. And it squirts free to the rookie, Cody Ceci, who had the overtime winner against the Blues, and he dumps it down the ice now with 50 left in the Blues power play. And 5:20 left in regulation. Jay Bouwmeester for Schwartz. Ceci the first man back from Methot. Pietrangelo there. And he seals the boards. And it's in some skates there. Schwartz trying to dig it free. And it comes off the pack, but right to the Senator, Colin Greening. So nothing doing in the power play tonight for the Blues. 15 to go here. It is Bouwmeester. And then to Steen, now for Backus. Back to Bouwmeester. Good pass now for Pietrangelo. And he works in, hooks it back to Oshie. And his pass blocked, and the Senators thinking short-handed goal. And here comes Turris into the zone. And a pass blocked.
Oh, good stick by Bouwmeester.
Senators back at full strength. The Blues no shots. And now 0 for 6 tonight. And a pass by Cowan up the boards. And then Berglund trying to find it. Turris there to the Blues line. And played by Shattenkirk now for Jackman with 4:10 to go in this wild third period. And then Berglund, nice no-look pass to Shattenkirk. And then Morrill hunts it down. He had the first goal tonight. And that bounced on Shattenkirk on the right point. He was wide open. And the Blues have to regroup and reload in their own zone. And then dumped back in by Gryba. Bobbled it bit by Halak. And now picked up by Shattenkirk. shots in the game, 43-27 for the Blues. Senators back off a little bit here. Pass on the tape of Payarvi. Drops it for Roy. On the cycle now to Morrow. And then Morrow spins on Spezza. For Roy again. Roy to the line. Pietrangelo, a drive. And that was offside, I believe. And a whistle. Tied at 4 late here in the third period. Well, stay with us here on Fox Sports Midwest. Coming up on Missouri Lottery Blues Live, Pat and Darren will break down this game. Let's get physical. A wild night at Scottrade, and we'll have complete reaction, interviews, and much more on Missouri Lottery Blues Live.
It's a fun one to break down. See, we can't make sense of it.
In a way, it reminds you of the third period against the Predators.
Very much so. I mean, no question about that. The third period, Fisher scored to make it 2-2. Yossi scored to make it 3-2. And then Tarasenko, 16 seconds later, he patted Brian Elliott in the pads and said, don't worry, we'll get it back. And he did.
And then Bouwmeester dumps it in. It's Tarasenko up front with Roy and Schwartz.
Tarasenko's had a quiet game, but it doesn't take him very long or very much room to make something special happen.
Yeah, he needs one shot. And now it comes to Tarasenko. Back for Bouwmeester. That shot blocked. Good job by Zibanejad. And the former first rounder gets it by Pietrangelo. And all the way down the ice. And a pass to Backes. He tips that one in deep. Oshie after it. And he wants to stick of Callan. Then he goes spinning down. Oh boy, and the Senators to center ice. Oshie's all right.
Callan's hurt though.
Here comes Greening. He goes wide. And a save by Halak on the backhander by Greening. And he goes sliding into the end boards. And now Oshie's involved. Along with Backes. That's Chris Neal of Ottawa.
Yeah, Neal pushed down Oshie, knocked him down, and Backes was right there, and he's protecting his line mate and teammate Oshie. And he just puts a glove right in the chest of Chris Neal. With all the talking and all the chattering and all the stuff in front of the net and the stuff that happened before and Zach Smith's hit on Alexander Steen in Ottawa, there's been no scraps.
And Smith was giving Steen a bit of a face wash.
This would be the opportunity for a scrap. But look at Smith. Was he looking up at the clock?
Yep. Well, the last thing you want to do here is take a single minor.
Yeah, here's a play by Greening, and he showed last year in the playoffs that he isn't afraid to drive hard to the post. And that's a powerful move there by Greening. And Jackman had everything he could handle there with speed, and you're backing up as a defenseman. Oshie right there gets the shove right there by Neal, and there's Backes is right there. You don't always need one guy that's just your designated tough guy. You need everybody to go around when something happens, and team toughness is a key. No minors. Slow change. Very slow change.
Yeah, it's really been kind of a strange, all the scrums that we've seen, and we really only have had a couple of minor penalties because of it. I mean, right off the bat, we got a couple of coincidental minors. We've had that a couple different times, but it's been really strange.
I'm quite surprised that with 2:21 offensive zone faceoff that Carlson is not manning the right point here for Ottawa.
As Berglund gets set on the faceoff against Turris, and Berglund wins it.
Good play by Berglund.
Oh, Bouwmeester, he's rocked, and his stick is caught in the glass of the boards.
Yeah.
And thankfully, that did not hurt him.
Oh, that could have gone right in the old gut. Ugh.
And now Pietrangelo.
Or somewhere else.
That's off the rounded glass, and that's out of play. Yep. So we got a whistle. So the weird happenings continue here at Scottrade. Watch this, and his stick.
Oh. Boing, oing, 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 oing.
That's a great sound effect.
That's hard to do.
He gets it back. Well, we know that NHL Revealed's going to be coming up. Look at that. Didn't even break his twig, Bernie.
I know. I mean,
Not at all.
I was surprised.
And it might have done some damage to the boards right at the Zamboni entrance.
No, they're going over towards the other side.
Yeah, there's must be something wrong with the glass here.
Is that where Pietrangelo fired the puck?
Yes.
They hit the rounded glass
Yes.
right at the end of their bench.
And it shattered it, looked like. With that angle, that's tough to do. That must have hit it. Is that where they're going to?
That's what it appears that they're doing. They're going over to that corner glass, but we've seen some strange things tonight, guys. Wow. It's, as John said, it's a full moon. That's the only way to describe this one, because
That would have hit that guy right in the chest. Oh, he's going to move. He's thinking the same thing. There's been a lot of goofy things happening in this game. We're getting out of here. Well, he's just moving.
And that's a special piece of glass.
Mm-hmm. 2:03 left in a 4-4 game. Blues goals from Morrow, Backus, Oshie, and Leopold. And Oshie, another multi-point game. Tied with Tarasenko and Backus with 11. Steen leads the club with 12 multi-point games. And it has been a bizarre third period, to say the least.
Well, this is a nifty behind-the-back pass from Jason Spezza. This is just a fluky one that we've seen so often around the NHL. This is a wicked wrister that Mathot does a phenomenal job of keeping the puck in. And then Leopold counters with his own, banking it off the left arm of the goaltender and in behind him. Shocked everybody.
Bernie, what's the feeling down on the bench?
Well, you know, right now it's pretty quiet. I mean, I think everybody's trying to get their breath again. Obviously, this has been some strange bounces. You think with that, I thought after that, you know, Backus goal at the end of the second period with 5 seconds left, I mean, that should have been the game right then, you know, set match right there. But obviously, you got to give the Senators a lot of credit. I mean, they played last night in Pittsburgh, so they're the tired team. They didn't get here till late, but they found a way, and we've seen some strange goals tonight. But it seems the Blues always seem to find a way back as Leopold has evened this. So still 2 minutes left, guys. I'm not sure what can happen in the next 2 minutes.
And the Senators, on the second night of a back-to-back this year, only 1-5-2 on the second night. Well, Fox Sports Midwest would like to thank all those who donated blood to the Blues and American Red Cross Blood Drive. Thanks to all of you, over 680 pints of blood were collected, helping to save more than 2,000 lives. Thank you very much.
Well, it's been a heck of a night for Jordan Leopold, the veteran defenseman. He was the one that saved that goal in the second period as it rolled off the right shoulder of Yaroslav Halak and nearly went in the net. And if not for his quick thinking and the quick stick of Jordan Leopold, that changes things in the second period because the Blues were able to take it to a 3-1 lead. But here's the play off the back, and he just barely, with the toe of his blade, keeps that out of the net. And then he turns around here in the third period and scores a goal from behind the goal line. So he's been the goal line keeper in this one here tonight for Jordan Leopold. Played in the Olympics in 2006, representing the USA in Turin, Italy.
And his first goal in 38 games, and his first as a Blue. So they get a new pane of glass, and we're ready to go with 2:03 left in regulation.
It's not very clean new pane of glass either. It's pretty dirty. I hope the people behind there can actually see out of it.
Do you remember the one time this year, was it in Florida, where they put the glass back, but it had the sticker blocking the one side? They forgot to take the sticker off.
Where do you get your Windex out?
It needs Windex bad right now.
And a pass to center. Here's Pietrangelo for Bouwmeester. Tipped along by Backus. But then played by Erik Karlsson. Karlsson slowed up by Oshie. And now it bounces back to Bouwmeester. And the Senators making a change on the fly. Oshie at the Sens line. Skipped one to the corner for Roy. And Roy off the wall. and then goes back to the corner. But now it's Ryan the other way with 80 seconds left in regulation. Senators try to center it. Here's Ryan, a pass and a shot blocked by Polak as he got in the way of Turris. And the puck gloved down by Schwartz and then tipped out of midair by Polak and then to the Ottawa line. For Eric Gryba.
1 minute to play in the third period.
1 minute to go here. MacArthur gets a piece. Turris after it. And he holds the stick a bit of Berglund. Now it's centered off Jackman. Centered again, but that's taken care of by Magnus Pajärvi. And he comes down the wall. In on Mathot, who does a really good job. And the puck tipped out of there by Gryba. And it's a turning Jay Bouwmeester. And then Bouwmeester funnels one to the back of the goal. Rattles around to Mathot. 2 Blues on him, and now Gryba with it. And then Greening to center ice. So 20 seconds to go. Blues break it up. And then Backes, he flies it in right wing. Backes, a drive and a save by Leonard. There's the Senators, a big giveaway at center. Now Oshie in another wrestling match right in front of that goal.
Well, what David Backes is doing, and the Blues practice this all the time, he knows from that distance the likelihood of this puck going in the net on the initial shot is slim. So what he's doing, he knows that you've got some center lane drive. So let it roll here, guys, for a second. And here's the key here as we stop it here. You've got here and you've got here driving hard to the net. Oshie and Steen. It just gets up on David Backes just a little bit, enough for the goalie to go down in the butterfly and take it right in the midsection, right in the pants, and no rebound there. If that's just even 2 inches lower on that right pad, it comes bang, comes out there, and maybe one of the 2 Blues will be able to get a hold of it for the rebound.
12.8 seconds left. Backes against Smith. And we'll do it again. Backes will try and draw it back to Pietrangelo on the right point. And he does just that. And Pietrangelo, a wrist shot, and a save by Leonard. And again, we have a face-off, and that's Oshie once again.
And there's Zach Smith again right there. So you got that front of the net, Oshie jostling for the loose puck, but it clearly was right in the bread basket there of the goaltender again, just like that last one. Good face-off win, nice clean win. Pietrangelo looks one way, tries to rifle it through, it gets beyond Spezza, and that puck is clearly covered up, but Karlsson gives Oshie a little shove right there, and Zach Smith comes in to help out Karlsson, and buckets off there for TJ Oshie. The theme continues. Battles in front of the blue paint, both sides.
And this has been the theme since the opening faceoff. And again, Backes and Smith. Blues up to 45 shots, 2 off their season high. And Smith wins this one. And then play to center ice by Cowan. And now Smith comes in and a slow roller. And that'll do it. We'll go to overtime for the second straight game of Scott Trade.
Give the Swede Robin Leonard a lot of credit. He played extremely well when it looked like the Blues had a chance to roll this one away in the second period. Leonard made many fine saves, including that minute and 55 on the 5-on-3. The Blues had 4 power plays total when you look at that second period, and 13 power play shots before they had 1 power play in the third period. Now, on December 16th, Cody Ceci, who played for the Ottawa 67s and was a first-round draft pick of the Ottawa Senators, he scores his first and only NHL goal in overtime against the former Senator Brian Elliott. Tricky wrister from the point that found its way through everyone. And Ceci hasn't seen a whole lot of ice time in this game, 7:19 through 40 minutes of play. But anytime it's your first career goal and you're playing in front of your home fans, your hometown, where you come from, and then on this day in 06, keep your eye on the veteran defenseman Garrett Jackman, climbing in there on the weak side, takes the pass from Big Wolf and just drives it home right there. That's Sean Bodine giving him a hug right there. No overtime wins against Ottawa.
Well, maybe Jackman will be the hero tonight like he was in a win in Game 2 last year against LA with a late goal. That overtime winner that we saw was against the Dallas Stars. Can the Blues get their first ever overtime win against the Senators? As we go 4-on-4, the Blues 8-5 in OT, the Sens are 5-11.
Well, this is the guy you got to keep your eye on, and you got to front him at all times. Don't let him slide away. Number 65, Carlson with the puck.
Ottawa lost last night in Pittsburgh in OT. And a shot by Carlson comes in front, and a bouncing puck, and a weird one. Kept out of there. Now Carlson with it. Backdoor feed for Turris. And now back to the goal, MacArthur. Checked there by Tarasenko. And now it comes along to Patrick Berglund. That puck almost went off the glass and back in front into the net. That's how close that was. Carlson again. Turris steps on the puck. And a break for the Blues. Steen in for Schwartz. And then Schwartz surrendered by 2 Sens. Back of the goal now for Pietrangelo. He cycles one back to the goal. Carlson pinned to the line. Here's Pietrangelo across to Shattenkirk. And he waits, and a drive, and a blocker save by Leonard. And it's out of the zone, and then Turris plays it back in his own end. The thought cycles have been right to Schwartz. And Schwartz, who's been around the puck all night. Pinned by Ceci, and the puck comes freedom of thought. And then ahead for Zibanejad. He works in to the backhand, and he's spun around and knocked off the puck by Shattenkirk. And here come the Blues the other way. And TJ Oshie. 1-on-2 here. Oshie to the back for Pollock. Pollock, a shot, and a pad save by Leonard. And now Oshie again. Leaves it, and then Jackman has to go off his blade to center. Now to Pollock, tipped into Bacchus. In the clear, shot and a glove save, and Leonard made that one look easy.
That glove was already in position, wasn't it? Right-handers love going high to the glove side. And it was like Leonard just had his glove right up there and makes that save look relatively easy because Bacchus has got such a good wrist shot. Long blade, rolls it off there and just heel to toes it. Zach Smith was coming on board too, trying to get that stick on puck and deflecting it wide, but Leonard's been good, huh, Byrne?
Yeah, Smith did a good job, though, forcing him to go high, glove side, because there was room to the far side, possibly. So Smith did a really good job there, getting that stick in the lane.
And 48 shots. That's the number of shots Pittsburgh had last night. And off the face-off, Carlson in overtime to center. He gives it up to Roy. Roy up front with Stewart.
Yeah, they got great goaltending last night from Craig Anderson. He gets a rest tonight, and all they get is great goaltending here from Robin Leonard.
And now Roman Pollock under some pressure there from Smith. Smith has lost his stick. Here's Stewart. And then Pollock was bottled up at the line, and the Senators get it back.
It's one guy that's been quiet in this game, huh? Bobby Ryan.
But he has 15 goals in 19 games against the Blues. As Cowan comes in. Here at Cowan, a shot. That was going wide. And a pass saved by Halak. The Blues get it, and now Leopold. The Blues are trying to make a change here, and Leopold rags the puck now ahead for Pietrangelo. And he gets in there. Pietrangelo trying to feed one through for Berglund. And then for Tarasenko. And he is knocked down by DaCosta. Comes around for Bolmeister. And then Berglund in a battle there. Gravett kicks it back of the goal for Cowan. Cowan lost it. Held in by Pietrangelo, now to Berglund. Here's Berglund. Winds up and fires it. That was blocked, and it goes to the corner. And under 2 minutes left in overtime. Jay Bolmeister again. Right up the gut. And a shot into the gut of the goaltender, Leonard. And a face-off with 1:47 left.
Jared Cowan was out of gas and he didn't want to ice it, so he just kind of pushed it gently ahead, but the Blues countered quickly. Looks like Tarasenko is a little stung on that last play. Ray Barilli gives him a little nod. You okay? He looks like he shrugged him off like, I'm fine. And this is a big, strong player here in Vladdy Tarasenko that played with men since the age of 16. He goes down there. DaCosta does a good job defensively against the big fella, and he's still shrugging him off. I'm okay.
And a timeout has been called by Paul McLean.
Well, you go back to last night's game, and Carlson, the right-handed defenseman, he just has an unbelievable scoring chance last night. And Marc-Andre Fleury makes maybe the save of the year. Look at that. That's unbelievable. He's falling over to his side, on his belly. and then leans up there and gets that big leather mitt on Karlsson. Karlsson to his knees. He can only smile, though, and appreciate that great save from Marc-Andre Fleury. Well, they played against each other last year in the playoffs, and that's where Karlsson came back and played in that series. Struggled a little bit in it, coming back from that Achilles tear. But he is a gifted, offensive-minded young hockey player.
And after the timeout by McLean, 1:47 left.
He should be fun in the Olympics, playing for Sweden. That big ice.
And on the face-off, Turris gets it from Backes. And now Methot is canceled by Oshie. Oshie trying to run right through Methot. Backes comes over, pries it free. Now the Pietrangelo backdoor just off the mark. And then Bouwmeester. He'll play it down low.
Oh, good play by Backes.
As he swoops in and knocks it away from Karlsson. Ray Blues are after it. Karlsson with it, lost it. In front, Pietrangelo tried for the backhand, but couldn't get it on goal. Now ahead. And it's MacArthur, partial break. And a save by Halak with his left pad. And now Karlsson at the line. That's stolen by Oshie. And he's off to the races. And he's caught. Still with it. In front. And a penalty called. And a hooking minor.
Oh, thought it might have been a penalty shot. How did that puck come back on the tape of Oshie? I thought this play was dead.
Ottawa number 16, minor penalty for hooking.
So MacArthur has the chance the other way, plays it to the backhand, and then when Karlsson tries to play it to the far side, good stick there by Oshie, and then play was the original tug.
Yeah, right on the hip.
Yeah.
And the Blues on their 7th power play with 55.8 left in overtime. And it'll be a 4-on-3 power play. MacArthur gone for hooking.
Well, right now it's a left-hand shot here, so we'll see if he leaves it or plays it back. Looks to me like he's going to leave it for maybe Schwartz to jump in there for the loose puck. Tie up his centerman.
It is Steen, Schwartz, Pietrangelo, and Shattenkirk on the ice. On this late power play. Steen wins it.
Penalty number 16.
Shattenkirk to the corner.
2 minutes for hooking.
Steen bothered there, now back on the line. Steen again across, wide open Pietrangelo. He waits for Shattenkirk. He gets it back into Pietrangelo. Shattenkirk again. Over for Steen. Schwartz screens in front. On the outside to Pietrangelo. Tight angle. Now for Steen. And a drive blocked by Smith.
What a
Good
block
play.
that was. Yeah, you got that right. He put his body on the line.
20 seconds left in overtime. Schwartz back to the goal. Now Pietrangelo to Schwartz again. Here's Shattenkirk on the wing to Pietrangelo. It rolled on him. Under 10 to go. Shattenkirk, deep slot. Fires it in, a save by Leonard with the glove.
Whew. A lot of puck possession time. You want to shrink it down as close to the net as you can on this 4-on-3, but the Senators do a good job. I mean, by then the clock's ticking down. Here's the shot block by Zach Smith. The center of attention in this game has played a heck of a game. He's a gritty third-line centerman, and so while MacArthur's in the box, the Blues couldn't make him pay. Still time, though, for one shot. Backes will come out. You need that right-hand shot on the right side on Bernie. He can play it to his backhand, maybe get it back to Shattenkirk quickly.
Yeah, you got 4 seconds, so there's plenty of time to make to the boards and across to Oshie for the one-timer.
I was going to say right there.
Backes against Turris. 3.8 to go. Backes draws it back, and that's cleared away by Karlsson. And for the second straight game, we'll go to a shootout. Leonard stopping 46 of 50. A shootout is next.
Well, the goaltending here, the story in this contest. And number 40 on the left, Robin Leonard, the big Swede. As you take a look at the goalie comparison in shootouts, Yaroslav Halak has really improved his patience. Does not make the first move. Whereas the big fella on the left, that's where the Blues will try to get him to be a little over anxious, overzealous, make the first move, and see if they can't find some holes. Bernie, a lot of times on those big, long-legged goalies, you make that one move, make them fight, and then slide it between them if you can.
Yep, I would agree. I mean, Oshie going first, I'm pretty sure that he's probably looking 5-hole right off the bat.
Now, we saw what Tarasenko did in the last game against Carter Hutton. And we're going to go Oshie, Steen, and Tarasenko. Last game we did Oshie, Steen, Shattenkirk, and then Tarasenko. And Tarasenko's was the game-deciding goal.
And for Ottawa, it'll be Zibanejad, Spezza, and DaCosta as the first 3 shooters.
DaCosta's got a very quick release. And you know that Jason Spezza he's got a long reach, and he'll go in there and wait and buy some time. He's a very patient shooter. Likely go high glove. I'm going to call it all out here, okay, Bernie?
Okay.
Zibanejad, forehand, backhand. Spezza's going to go high glove. DaCosta's going to try to go high glove.
Okay. I'll hold you to it, Banger, as long as Yarrow stops all 3.
Yeah. And
what will Oshie do?
Well, Oshie's going to go in there, and he's going to have the puck's going to be in front of him, and he's going to wait, and he's going to look high glove and see if there's something there, and then he's going to wait, look low stick, see if something's there, and then he's going to snap it right between his legs.
I would agree.
And say thanks for coming.
Yeah, that's with a big, tall goaltender like this, I would totally agree.
You can look at all the video you want of TJ Oshie, but the minute that you give him something, he'll go somewhere else.
Oshie scored a beauty the other night. It is always the first shooter. 5 for 8 of the year. 1 point up for grabs in the shootout. And Oshie against Robin Lehner. Here we go. Backhander, he scores! Wow, he read the play and went backhand.
Yep, yeah. He has the calmness to settle that puck down. And he and Brad Boyes, while Boyes were here, that was such a dynamic 1-2. Both right-hand shots. This is unbelievable move here. In tight, it rolls up the side of the pants and then goes under the bar and in the net. Great goal by Oshie again.
And Zibanejad, 2 for 3 on the year. And he will shoot against Jarro Halak, who is very aggressive here. And a backhander, he ties it. That's a great move.
Forehand backhand with a little bit of speed. And I know from being in the net that you're looking here and you're trying to maybe give him a little glove looking that way. And when a right-hander, for me, was always trouble. That forehand backhand, take it wide, don't shoot it right away. And he elevates that perfectly. That's a nice move.
Yeah, he had to get it up or it wouldn't have went in. So good move there.
Steen, 50% on the year. Here he comes. Steen, he scores!
Or I guess you could just go down the right side, bring it to the middle, and just take a wrist shot over the glove. I mean, that's just basic hockey right there. But he must have disguised it a little bit to get the goalie to drop his glove.
He shoots it so well,
that's
too.
A great shot.
And that's a hard shot, too, because you're going back against the grain, left-handed shot into that top right corner. That's a hard shot.
Yeah, the glove was up, and then it drops.
Spezza 2 for 8 on the year. Trying to tie it at 2. Here he comes, Spezza. And that hit the goalpost. And now the Blues could win it.
Spezza tries to go against the grain, back to the blocker's side. A near perfect shot off the bar and out. Oof, what a good wrister that is. Yep.
Oh, boy.
And he scored on the glove earlier in the game, so he probably thought that Yarrow was thinking that.
Tarasenko could be the hero again. 2 for 3 on the year. Could the kid do it again? And a pad save by Lehner. And now it's up to the rookie DaCosta.
Lehner gave him the old 5-hole. It came out with kind of a premature poke check. Lehner made the move right away. Watch the stick of Lehner out here. He's going to push it out. His stick's not in a good spot.
Yeah, he had 5-hole, but Lehner got the pad down. And now DaCosta must score for Ottawa. He had a goal last night.
Yeah, he went high under the bar, blocker side on Fleury.
DaCosta with plenty of speed right up the middle. Here he comes, and he ties it with a delayed backhander, and we'll go to an extra round.
That's a heck of a move. I mean, that shows a great deal of patience by DaCosta here. I mean, the calmness to take it on your forehand, get Yarrow to really bite towards the glove. Watch the collapsing of the leg on the left, and then you've got to do the splits cutting back to the right. And by this time, Yarrow had lost his footing and his ability to push across, and nearly got it still.
Yeah, he got a piece, but not enough. Extra round, Shattenkirk 2 for 4. Won a game on Long Island. Here he comes, Shattenkirk in. And a pass saved by Leonard, and now the Senators with a chance to win the game.
This morning after practice, the Blues players go through the shootout, and Shattenkirk twice put it off the bar on the glove side. When he went in on Poulin of the New York Islanders, he put it off the bar and in. Here, he's trying to get him to open up the 5-hole and slide it through, but his stick position was very good there of the goaltender Leonard.
And now McCulloch trying to win it for Ottawa, 1 for 5. Pollock must make the save. Pollock out. Backhander off the crossbar. That's the second bar they've hit in the shootout.
This has been a goofy night, huh? Bernie? This has just been a goofy night.
I can't believe it. This is unbelievable.
Again, the bite here. Here's the key. Freeze, and then backhander high. Spezza beat him high off the blocker, off the pipe and out, and that one goes off the pipe. And look at the reaction of the Senators players. They thought it was in.
Lapierre told us yesterday he's been good in the shootout. 6 for 11. He's right. Here he comes, Lapierre, and he's shot high, way high.
He said I was going to be after Tarasenko on that last game. We were kidding.
Just got this a little too high, guys.
He waited long enough. He did show the patience to not make the first move and had him beat, actually. Goalie flared out his stick, but he just jammed it too high. Now Turris has a chance to win it. And he goes high glove a lot of times. He's got a wicked wrister.
Could Turris be the hero? Here he comes, and he scores. And the Senators win it in a shootout on a goal by Turris.
He shoots it from a far ways out, and he gets a lot on it. He's got an incredible release. The Ottawa Senators, give them some credit. This was a 3-1 Blues game, second game back-to-back for the Senators. They got a point last night in Pittsburgh, but the St. Louis Blues are not going to be happy about squirting this one away. There is no doubt about it. And our Bud Light player of the game is going to go to the Blues, Jaden Schwartz. So I thought he had a heck of a game. 4 shots. The puck was all around him. Tenacious in his own zone. So there's your Bud Light player of the game.
Sens win it in a shootout. 5-4 the final. Let's go to Pat Paris.